What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal, Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check. This is your Summerslam 2026 preview, and that is Jake fucking DeMarco. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, buddy, old pal, old friend. I am excited now. It took a little bit to get there, but it is upon us. And let me tell you what, it's SummerSlam, baby, and I'm happy to finally have it happen. We've been waiting a little while now to see how this was going to play out. We've wanted Cody and Punk for years, 3 years.
Yep.
And finally we get it. Maybe not exactly how we wanted, but I'm of the mindset beggars can't be choosers, and I am happy that we're getting it at all. So I'm
We're
I'm
getting it
appreciative.
at, in the words of Simon Miller, we're getting it at Hot WrestleMania.
Exactly. We're getting it at SummerSlam. It's happening. It's
Very
good all the
nice.
way around.
And the hot is real. I don't know what the weather is like by you, but I showed you the notification that I got from Cineplex today when I went to see Spider-Man. It's humid outside, and the floors might be slippery.
Yeah.
So it's hot. It's hot enough here that the floors are sweating.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
That is a
Also,
thing.
Spider-Man is good. If everybody wants my deep, in-depth thoughts on Spider-Man Brand New Day, it's good. It's not going to fucking blow your socks off, which is fine. It's already sold more pre-sale tickets than Endgame, so it's a draw, I guess, if we want to use wrestling terminology. But yeah, the floor was slippery
Yeah. I
because it's
thought it'd
that
be
hot
good,
outside.
I didn't think it'd be amazing, but I thought it would be good.
Yeah,
Certainly.
it's all right. I told you, like, my biggest thing, and it's a nitpick, is just like Punisher doesn't work in a PG situation, but it is what
Yeah.
it is, and it's the Sony of it all. But yeah, Hot WrestleMania, SummerSlam, 2-night SummerSlam. We're giving it the WrestleMania treatment, at least. Do I think all the matches are where they should be? No, and I think in that regard, it's going to be pretty damn obvious. I do want to say before we get started, and I don't want to start on a down note. Everybody listening right now has seen me blasting all over social media in the past couple of days. It's true. My X handle got rate limited, and I ended up making a new X handle, which wouldn't really matter to anybody except for the fact that it's the biggest way that I have to advertise this channel. So
Yeah.
if you're listening,
Updates, backstage news, all that for the show. And the old one, may it rest in peace. Oh.
yeah. So anybody that's listening to me that is on X, I know a lot of you have already carried over. That's awesome. I've gone back down to an X following of like 20 people where I had like 900 and something, which is not a lot to begin with. Wouldn't be a big deal if it wasn't what I used to share all the information about this channel. So if anybody's listening, anybody feels like doing me a favor, share the new handle around. It's at Spaz Phoenix Pod, all one word. Yeah, or the alternative is follow me on Instagram, which is still Spaz Phoenix. It's a bit of a bummer. I got flagged as an unreliable news source, which is funny because I've never claimed to be reliable or a news source.
That's funny
So that's a
indeed.
thing. So like how many times I know we have a chat and it's you and myself and Big Nick from the Wrestling for Life guys. How many times have I sent you guys a message to be like, "Hey, I tagged you in something. Did you see it?" No. Okay, can you see anything on my page? No. Did you
Yeah.
see the thing
No.
did you see the thing I just posted? No. So
Yeah, because you
Elon,
would tag me and stuff, and I'd be like, I'm just
I
gonna
didn't see
tell him
that.
yes, but Spaz lost his mind, and I have to play along. Yeah, buddy, I got
Oh dear.
your message. Oh, you're calling it X again, not Twitter. Okay, that's
I
fine. No,
I,
I
I appreciate
totally get it.
I appreciate you guys babysitting my senility. It's fine. But yeah, apparently even like silly old me up here in Canada talking nonsense about wrestling is apparently fake news.
Mm.
But yeah, guys, bottom line before I turn it into a Trump joke, before I turn it into a big tech conversation, if you're listening to this and you want to follow me and get all your updates on this channel and all that kind of stuff, the new X handle is at Spaz Phoenix Pod, Pod. Or you can follow me on Instagram. I'll be sharing everything there anyway. And if anybody has Facebook still, you can find me there. I guess it's not that hard. Anyways,
Oh, it's hard.
let's not talk about FKA Twitter fucking me in the ass. Let's
Yeah.
talk about SummerSlam.
Well,
Um,
indeed, I'm just glad you started the new one. We're screaming it from the rooftops. Hopefully people
yeah,
go
appreciate you,
and
buddy.
follow you right away because that's absolutely a deserved follow. You put out
Thank you.
a ton of great commentary as well. So it's not just like the news you get from every other wrestling feed. You go a lot further. Plus, you're very introspective. You go along with the conversation. So it's
Mhm.
always fun to see.
Yeah, but the thing about it with me on X is I share like super unpopular opinions, like Supergirl is shit and you're not allowed to stab somebody with a knife in the middle of a sports field, like stuff like that that people don't really like. So they
Yeah.
label you as fake news when I never claim to be real and I never claim to be news. Anyways, SummerSlam, 2 nights. Looking at the 2 nights, 6 matches each. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yes. A nice
Kind
rounded
of
number. I feel like it's pretty fair.
they are a couple of, like, nuts and bolts type things. I think it's AEW and WWE. They're both experimenting with earlier and earlier showtimes. Doesn't hurt my feelings
Not
in
at
the
all.
slightest. And they've
Like you
gotten
said,
rid
starting at
of
6 Eastern is fine by me.
that weird sort of like free hour so they don't have to fit the 1 hour mold for their first two matches is
Yeah,
another thing.
which
Because
is
I think
nice.
they were trying to walk the line of is it a kickoff or are we putting our best foot forward to get people to watch the rest of the show? And you kind of can't be both because a best foot forward get you to watch the show match is not the same as a kickoff match.
Yeah,
Kickoff
exactly.
match is like the Usos having a tag match back in the like bright purple plastic shorts days. And thinking, this is part of the card, except it's not because we haven't had the opening video package or the pyro yet, and all those weird devices and
Did you
divides that
say
we talk
pyro?
about.
Ah, sorry.
Did say pyro.
Ah,
But yeah, 6 matches instead of five times two is 12. Um, Still less than I mean, I could talk about redemption, but it would be a pretty quick conversation. Just putting that
yikes.
one out there.
No, it wouldn't.
Jericho,
That went on
Jericho out
far
there.
too long. Short to
Jericho,
discuss, but
Jericho out
yeah.
there as the long lost member of ICP before they actually brought back ICP.
Oh, I
What
thought he
are
was
we
trying to
doing?
resurrect himself as the following disciple of Art the Clown in Terrifier 4. I thought
I
that's
well,
what he was
no,
going for,
no.
but
Art the Clown is all WWE.
mm.
I think the fourth and final Terrifier is actually going to have Rhea Ripley in it, which is pretty sick.
So I've heard. I mean, they already did Off
Here's the
Jericho.
thing.
Sorry, spoiler.
Here's the thing, and I'm sorry, I'm going to derail us already, and it's a good thing I gave us lots of time. WWE is getting all kinds of pelters as they do for what's the issue of the day? Oh, we don't like toilet paper and we don't like deodorant, so we don't like WWE, whatever. The celebrity
Bad
involvement and
hygiene.
you know,
Yes.
but it's like, oh, you're using all these old washed up people and you're using up all these celebrities. Now, here's something for you, Jake. I have a genuine question for you. Genuine, like real inquiring minds want to know because they
Yes.
were in Detroit
Yes.
and there's another Detroit issue that we're going to talk about next week because my God, do I have a bullet point list of stuff for us to talk about next week.
Mm.
But the lighter Detroit news was Tony Khan coming out and saying, "My good friends ICP."
Yes.
So here's my question for you: as
Mm.
we talk about washed up celebrities, as we talk about oh, which company wants to be what company, by bringing out ICP, are they trying to be WWE or are they trying to be WCW?
They've always tried it from Tony Schiavone onwards and Sting, and they've always wanted to be WCW. They've been WCW light for ages now. Like that's what
I mean,
Tony grew up on. He didn't like WWE. He liked WCW. He liked ECW. He was always an anti Vince. I don't want to say Mark
here
hater.
here's the funny thing about that though, right? Is what's the Eric Bischoff thing, like 83 weeks or whatever, because
Yeah,
that's
they
how
had the
long
ratings lead. Yeah,
Nitro beat Monday Night Raw. But that was Monday Night Raw. Friggin' Dynamite
once
had
Raw improved, it
but
was
here's the thing.
a no
Dynamite
contest as well.
Dynamite had 70 weeks of beating NXT.
Yes.
So they're a developmental level WCW.
But that's what Raw was at that point. It felt developmental because all of the big talent went to WCW, and that was always my gripe. It felt like, oh, this is where the
Mm.
old folks are. This is where they're gonna get the bigger money, but who wants to watch what we've seen for the last 10 years onwards, you know?
The one thing I will
I
say,
was
because
done with it at that point.
I've had to mostly go back and see like WCW as like rewatches or flashbacks type of thing because I wasn't in there at the time. It was
Yeah.
both ends of the spectrum, right? You didn't have the people like in their prime key moment, like you didn't have like Austin when he was Austin type of thing
Yeah,
is the
no, you
typical
cour
comparison, right? You had the guys that had gotten super old, but you to be fair, you also had a lot of young guys that were just starting off in that like who the fuck are you phase of their career as well. So there's a little tiny bit of credit, like you're bookending your career in WCW, but your career actually happens in WWE. And then
Yep, you're
nowadays,
not wrong.
you have a guy like Andrade who's not just hopping the fence, he's pogo sticking over the fence.
Yeah. He is the he's
But
literally hopping
now
everywhere.
Andrade went to wannabe WCW and won the wannabe NWA title.
I mean, that's about as wannabe as it gets, and,
Yeah.
not throwing shade at Andrade for that. I mean, good on him
No,
that
no,
he
no.
finally got something that he wanted, but yikes. I mean, yikes.
I
He's
mean,
like, "You owe me a championship," and they're like, "Oh, yeah, we'll give you a championship match. Don't you worry, buddy.
the
Don't you
rascal okay,
fucking worry. We got you."
the Rascals are scrambling for a shot at the trios titles
Yeah, that's
on
what they want.
Collision. On
Spaz,
Collision.
you know what he wants. He wants to have a shot at the international title.
Oh
Not
Christ.
even, or was
Oh
it
my
the
god.
national? Or was it
Oh my god.
the TNT title? Or was it oh, I
Okay,
don't
okay, no, 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 no,
remember.
no. Let's go with this for a second, right? If you look at the
Yes.
I knew we were gonna spiral off into this. It's a good thing we have time.
Yes.
Um, Tell me how
We spiraled as we roll
on
the
one
tape
sh
back.
on one show, you had the ROH champion going after the international title. You had the
Yes.
TNT champion going for the AEW title. You have Andrade going for the national title so that he can get a shot at the international title.
Yes.
But yet, when we get to her, people are upset that Tiffany Stratton is in a ladder match for the women's champion.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there.
Yeah. That's
Like,
exactly
make the
it.
comparison. If you are somebody who is of the belief, and I get it to a certain degree, I
That's
get
what
to a
people are
certain
thinking.
degree. If a couple of people, if one person holds a couple of different belts, nobody wants another Mercedes Monet situation. I get it, mostly because they had to disinfect the belts. Like, if you have that opinion, that's fine. But don't say, oh, WWE does silly people like this when I can point to three examples in the same fucking we pulled this out of our ass because it's just Canada pay-per-view
Because da, 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 da. Yeah.
for reason.
Uh-huh. I know.
And like
I
and like
know.
nothing against Kevin Knight, but they set him up to look like a tool. They put him up against the Canadian in Canada when we already know what the main event is at All In. Oh my god, when we get to All In, we are going to do the yearly tradition. AEW All In. What the fuck is this? 2026 is coming.
It's doing more than coming. It's happening.
Speaking of coming, let's talk about
Mm.
this show and something that I like two-thirds of.
Something that
Meh.
we're overall, I'm
Oh, I meant a
excited
specific
for, but not
match.
anticipating, if that makes
Oh,
sense. Or
I'm
anticipating,
anticipating.
but I'm anticipating, but less than excited. Maybe that's how I should have
Yeah,
vocalized it, but
yeah.
it hasn't fully tickled my fancy yet, but I am looking forward to the show overall. Like, I think some of the things are going to certainly entertain, but I don't think any of it, honestly, is going to live up to full expectations, whether you
I
blame
think
the
what they've
fans for
done
that or not. So,
I think what they've done is they have mixed it's a mixed bag card of here are your key big matches and here are some other things that we've put on the card to fill out the card. And
yeah.
the good part of that is they haven't tried to tell you that a couple of those fill out the card things are main events.
No, you're right.
If that makes sense. Like the things that are in the middle are existing honestly. in the middle.
Yes, they're
And that's
staying
not
there.
always the case. That's not always the case. And
No,
there's been some interesting a
like
lot of
a
the
penta
big
match. It's still a big match, but it's
yeah,
in the middle.
actually, it's one of the when we get to Penta, it's one of the ones I'm most looking forward to.
Oh,
Other than, like
I'm not
other
denying
than the
that, but I'm
obvious,
saying,
like,
like,
marquee ones.
yeah, but it's still middle of the card, middle of
It's
the road for them,
it's
mid card, however you want to put it.
it's the very top of the mid card for
Yeah,
me.
which is
At least
fine,
as this
but
card
still
goes,
mid
and because
card.
then you've got other stuff that's a little bit middle, a little bit pile of people, some lighthearted stuff that, oh my god, how dare WWE have some fun, and oh my god, can you believe they had dancers? Yes, your company had penis dancers. Moving quickly on.
Yes, that's right. I always forget about
All right,
that.
so let's start with the one that's giving me like 2/3 of a hard on. It's the Bellas and Paige taking on Fatal Influence in a 6-woman tag.
Only
And
two
yes,
thirds.
for the people that are feigning outrage, yes, this means that they're not defending the women's tag team champions. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I
Fatal
still think
Influence,
that sucks. I hate when champions aren't featured on shows. I mean, Fatal Influence did just win, so I guess we could say that much.
mm,
But that would make me want the rematch to happen even more so. Or why not, even though it's not trios, for this match, put the titles on the line anyways. Why not?
because wouldn't that be like under New Day rules? Oops, I said it.
Yeah, see, it's not like they haven't done it before.
Oh, and guys, spoiler for next week, I will be diving real deep on the propaganda cartoon that we've all seen.
Mm,
Real deep,
you mean your
real
unicorn
deep,
horn fell off, Spaz?
real deep, like Sasha Banks looking for a pay raise. Here's
Ah,
my here's where I like this, because there's a criticism that's been levied on SmackDown, and it's true. The ripple effect of Rhea Ripley being injured, the Rhea Ripple effect, as some people are calling it.
yes,
Yes, I ripped
that's
that
a
off
good
of What
effect.
Culture, sue me.
Yes, but
Um,
that's a good name. I haven't heard that
because
yet.
they came in, Fatal Influence came in on SmackDown, and they went right to the top. They went right face to face with Rhea Ripley. And then
Yes.
when Rhea Ripley got injured, their booking like faltered. I don't even want to say kind of faltered. It faltered, right? But we're
Yes.
presenting them as a faction, as a trio, whatever the case may be. So I don't mind in this case. I don't mind that the trio you're pushing has a match as a trio on the main roster or on the main card of the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of a bonus that they're just going to wave the belts in front of the Bellas and Paige that they just took off of them. But it's really just, hey, the three of us are here, deal with it. They're going to win. It's going to spurn the Bellas turning heel on Paige.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to win. Paige is going to detach
We
herself
know
from the
that's gonna
Bellas.
happen.
Paige is going to detach herself from the Bellas because that didn't need to be a thing. Fatal Influence are going to get to say that, like, okay, they went over one actual legend and two other that call themselves legends. They're going to get a big show out night on the big stage. They get to claim that they caused the ruption between the
Page and
babyface team and all that
yeah.
kind of thing. So I would normally I would understand why people are upset that the women's tag team titles aren't on the line here. And yes, in general, the women's tag team championships not being featured prominently on TV and on pay-per-view is an issue that needs to be dealt with. I
Yeah.
think for the specific 1-2 punch that they're trying to achieve here of Fatal Influence being a force as a unit, Paige and the Bellas having their fallout, I think it has to have all 6 women in it for those goals to happen. Now,
Yeah.
if those things don't happen, I will retroactively go back and be like, why wasn't this just a rematch?
I'll eat my own ass. Yeah, one of those. I
I
gotcha.
mean, maybe a hat, not like my good Lincoln Park hat,
No,
but
no, no. We wouldn't go that far. We're not monsters.
but
That's vintage.
I think it should be good. I think the Bellas aren't good,
No.
but they're very. I hate to give them
They're
credit.
viable, I would say.
They're no, I think they've got one or two things that they can do. It's a
Yeah.
different kind of spot. It's a different kind of spot monkey, not a spot monkey like a Young Bucks or
Typical
a Hardy
jump
Boys
around
or
the
something like that.
ring. Yeah, super
But
effective and
spot monkey
everything.
in the sense of they have one or two spots that they can do, and
Oh, thank God they're white. Sorry, I was
and
just preparing for the freak out.
dramatically, yeah, dramatically, they're pretty okay at placing when those things that they can do get done. I think that's fair to say. Paige being the most recent return to the company and being the one that's probably going to hold this match together, it's kind of funny. I know a lot of people are really, really upset with Paige of like, I'm glad to be back at WWE. Yeah, I had an okay time over in AEW, but I'm a WWE girl. But he's giving her
Yes, I am.
all kinds of ridiculous hate like they usually do. But
Yeah.
like Fatal, even though I'm going back on my own criticism here now, because even though they haven't been used very well, Fatal Influence are still getting the desired reaction that they got on day one.
Yeah.
So that's not a credit to
They're
WWE. That's a
garnering
credit to
heat.
them.
Exactly, but
Yeah.
they're garnering heat, they're getting attention, they're over as the women's tag team champions. It was a good pop and surprise. It fit well for that show. You don't need the titles defended here. I don't want to sound like a broken record or a parrot and just be like, "Yep, I agree," but "Yep, I agree." Exactly as you laid it down. And Nikki turns, obviously, the tide against them. That's why they lose when Fatal Influence, like you said, kind of gets in the ear, whatever. They
Yeah.
instigate the flop that is the turn. And
I don't even think they need to instigate it. I think it'll just be a case of the Bellas are finally back together with Nikki coming back from injury, and they're there as a trio. They can say that they're the ones that brought in Paige, whatever, if they
yeah,
want to phrase it that way. And it's like, oh, we're finally all back together. Well, Paige will be the one that gets pinned
yes,
for that to all make sense. Like they'll do something dastardly to her from the heel side, but yeah, I don't know. Nikki's gonna come back. Nikki's gonna have a one-on-one match with Paige at some point, or like I've been pushing for a long time now, call up Tatum Paxley and let Tatum Paxley be Paige's partner because I think that you know two sides of the same coin, whatever metaphor you want to use. I think Paxley and Paige as like a teacher-student type of thing. Think like Becky and Lyra before Becky turned. They could be a fun team for a while, but I don't know. I don't need to see the Bellas on my screen. And they came out and announced recently that they're retiring at the end of 2027, and that sounds like a threat.
it's
That sounds
not
no,
at all.
that sounds like you're gonna get at least another year of us.
But it's not a threat. They love the audience and they want
Oh, for
all
fuck's
the
sake!
money.
Yeah, the former Mrs. Cena is doing her own like you know what do you want to call it? Like you can't see me anymore. Bullshit. I don't. I
I know.
they're
I
in the
know.
story.
I
They
can't
have
even
to be
formulate
there.
the words. I'm just
No.
angry.
Like here's the thing. I won't say why are they on this card because now they're here and the story is what it is. So it has to play out. They'll come in, they'll play their
It's
roles,
not a bad choice of why they're on the card for the story that's been told so far. Do I want them there? No,
but
but
they didn't need to make a story in the first place to bring back the bell.
oh, I totally agree. But I'm saying if it's there, this is not the worst it could be. It could be so much worse.
Oh
So I'm at
yeah,
least
no,
grateful for
for
that. And
sure.
I know you're in the same boat I am. You and I try to find the enjoyment first,
Yeah.
and we don't always go in with the negative, but this brings it out of you, especially
Oh,
me.
I'm negative. I'm just not going to be delusional about it and say, "Oh, there's no reason to be there," because kind of
Yeah,
things that
no,
other
this
people would
this is
do.
worthwhilely
Yeah.
negative.
The
Like
story
this
is what
is
it is. I just don't
justified.
understand why like people are like, "Oh my god, why did AJ come back?" AJ has a whole lot more to contribute than Bellas do.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, the Bellas go on that. Okay, we'll make a little bit of money in WWE, then we'll make a little bit of money bashing WWE, and when that money runs out, we'll go back and get some more WWE money and like fuck off.
Well,
But
that's what
like,
the guess
let's
is
go
apparently that it's going to be AJ that teams with Paige to take on the Bellas because they
to
keep saying,
recreate the WrestleMania from like 10 years ago.
yeah, they keep doing the four thing. We're the four, and they're gonna pull from that history and be like, oh,
Considering
I
only
came to
three of the
save.
if you consider that only three of the four horsewomen were actually good, and one of them had more forehead than me, that's not even a good.
And
It's not even a
Dave
good
Moorhead
comparison.
too. I mean,
Probably. Look. We all know you guys have seen pictures of me online at some point. I'm not exactly a small guy. We're talking about a lady that has more forehead and less tits than me. Moving swiftly on. This is going to serve its
and
purpose.
skip.
The group Fatal Influence are gonna go out there looking like $1,005. It's gonna be great. I do predict in the next year we're gonna get an awesome babyface turn out of Fallon Henley, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. She's a ready-made face, and she can be a bitchy heel, and she's so multifaceted.
Mm.
This
And
sounds
we saw for
dumb.
a while on NXT like what a good like feel good babyface she was.
Maybe you'll understand what I'm going for here. I don't know
Maybe.
how else to explain it. I still haven't slept, shocker. So
There you go.
since the last time we spoke, no, since early this week.
Milo
So
agrees.
it's yeah. Milo agrees. It's very tired in here, and he knows for a fact that I'm crazy for saying this, but Fallon could totally be Hannah Montana. Not so
Okay.
much like a rock and roll gimmick, but play like a version of 2 characters. I could s
Smiley, happy to be here person.
yes, like a
Or,
happy face,
early days Bailey type thing.
basically, but she plays it dead serious,
Okay.
but everybody
See,
else is like, "What the hell?"
I've seen a lot of people make comparisons to Mickey James, where it is like Mickey James. I've over the years, my opinion of Mickey James has gone back and forth for other reasons, but she was very good at playing this like outgoing, let's have fun. I don't want to say happy to be here because that does sound a bit condescending, but like overall bubbly, happy person that
Yes,
still
very
never let you
effervescent.
yeah, but never let you forget that there was an edge at the same time. Not Adam
Yes.
Copeland. He's in the other company now.
Yeah,
Oh, shout out to Adam
and
Copeland, who's gonna be at MLP Northern Rising, apparently.
yes,
There you go.
the Edge is
So
going to Canada. Da, da, da. That's great.
he's
He's
gonna
going home.
gonna come up here and he's gonna be
Cross the
like,
line
where's
and
all the
drink the
fucking
maple.
where's all the snow at? Hey, it's way too fucking hot up here. Spaz told me the theaters were slippery. Pause.
They're wet.
Anyways, no, while we're gonna go with that 6-person tag, let's go with another 6-person tag. You know what we need?
Hey,
Another one.
and another one,
Another one.
and another
Um,
one. The one
so
soundbite
this
that
is
they
what
copyrighted instantly. I don't have that. I'm
so this
sorry,
is
but
what I mean. This is what I mean when I say there's some fun stuff filling out this card that has never once pretended to be a big deal, the focus of the card, a tent pole of the card, a main draw of the card. It knows exactly what it is, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We got
absolutely.
we got Don't Call Me Powerhouse Keys. We got LA Knight. Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Where's the soundbite?
Yeah,
There we go.
with everybody saying, yeah,
That's what we call in production a pregnant pause.
yeah.
We got the new Bloodline. And I'm curious
Jacob's
your
going to
thought.
jail.
I'm curious your thoughts on
What?
this.
Yeah.
We got the Bloodline. We got Don't Call Me Powerhouse Hobbs. We got LA Knight. Yeah. And Babyface Solo Sikoa. How do we feel about Babyface Solo Sikoa?
Funky.
He's been fun. I've
It's
enjoyed
been a
the
lot of
hell out
fun.
of him. So anybody criticizing hasn't really watched or they judged it without trying to give it a chance. That's my opinion.
I'm watching it and I'm seeing like I could see somebody rolling their eyes at it because it seems to have happened so quickly. Even if if you follow it along a little bit, like okay, he lost absolutely everything. He needed to make some new friends. Bloodline's an enemy. I'll just say I'm against the Bloodline and I'll make some new friends. But
But they
also,
also kind of pissed him off because he did have Jacob behind him and he was leading Jacob, and then
oh
Jacob
yeah,
basically left him and defied him. So that's what, and then Jacob goes to supposedly take on the bloodline. He's going to topple him. And then he couldn't get the job done. And that was it for Jacob. Like it was a very lackluster development there for him.
what I will say from a storytelling point of view, what doesn't really work for that as being a reason for Solo to be mad was Jacob separated himself from the MFTs when the MFTs was still its own thing. And there was a big gap between that and him targeting Roman. So there was not really, it wasn't like a 1-2 punch thing. But
Yes.
I said, even though it sounds a little bit questionable, as soon as he pulled out this, like, over the top babyface character, I started calling him Thicky Saints.
And see now if Solo does reunite with the bloodline and turn heel, who could join but Enzo and Cass? If they, Cass is coming back Monday. We know he's coming back. I think Enzo is going to come back with him. That's my guess. And
thing about it is with the
hey,
big Cass preview packages, whatever, they're portraying him as this very, I don't want to say very serious, but very like real,
dominant.
like dominant, yeah, because he will be, but like this serious comeback story, retribution type story.
That's kind of what I'm saying by dominant. Yeah, like take him serious is
yeah. So if he does all this and then he comes out as something else, it's gonna be a little Brodus Clay. If you get
They've
my
done
drift,
it before though, so
he's
that's
gonna be
why
a
I'm
big
like,
fucking.
yeah, it could happen though.
It could.
I'm kind of sold
I'm
that
gonna
that's
be
what they're doing.
if they've pulled Solo so far away from the bloodline just to be like, haha, I'm actually in here. It's like, then why did you get your ass kicked by Jacob and everybody for a couple of weeks? It's gonna be
Yeah, what
dumb.
was the point of
I hope it's
that?
not. I hope it's not. And everybody else is saying like Royce Keys, and I'm like, that really doesn't work for
Yeah, that's
obvious reasons.
not
For
helping.
obvious reasons, it doesn't work. But like everybody's gonna say, well, Sami Zayn worked? Yeah, Sami Zayn is like a once in a lifetime adaptable wrestler, and that's why you threw the white ginger kid in with the Samoan faction, and it kind of worked. Like you can't just like no. It's like, okay, we got Batista for a night. Let's throw him in the Judgment Day. What?
Yeah, there we go. We'll get him
First
cooked.
of all, the Judgment Day doesn't hire dudes anymore, but that's another story for another day.
Well, what about Ryan Garcia? I mean, they took him on.
Yeah, fair.
No, all joking aside with Enzo and Cass.
I don't know anything about Ryan Garcia. I don't know anything about
he's a big piece of shit.
Okay, fair.
I didn't know anything about him either, and then I was inundated with people being like, no, he's not okay. He's from Zuffa Boxing, but that's the only place that would take him because he's hugely homophobic, racist, anti-Semitic, like to the nth degree, proven, like not misquoted, not like he's blatantly being like N-word, F you kind of thing, like direct, like outright, all of it. So he's just he's a shock jock extraordinaire. He wants to get the biggest hate reaction he can get, and he thinks that's money. So I don't even know if he believes everything he says, but it doesn't matter because he's
for sure
platforming it to such a large degree that it just
it's one of those you don't have enough energy to be every kind of asshole.
Yeah, he's very performative and it shows, and it's making for a very uncomfortable situation because the wrestlers didn't know for the most part, and then they don't even have a choice if they did know. Like, what are they supposed to do? Be like, no, fuck, like they can't tell them. It's a deal with Zuffa Boxing and TKO. Like, people think they have the power to be like, no, fuck you, how dare you go ahead. Like, come on, really?
I was gonna say there's like Punk, Cody, and Roman that can be like, no, we're not doing that.
And even that Punk can, but it's very
well, I say Punk can because I get the opinion, or I get the impression that like if he says no and they say okay, you're fired, he'd be like, fine, go fuck yourself.
Yes,
like
yes.
he can in that way. Right?
Yes, absolutely. Roman indeed can. He somehow built himself into a spot where he is able to cover his ass and choose whose career is going to succeed. They brought it up on Unreal. He's like, oh, are you going to work with so and so? Oh, Roman's going to work with you. Isn't that great? You know, Roman said he'd do it. That's fantastic. Aren't you happy that Roman said, and it's like, what the fuck, Roman? That's
yeah. But at the same time, like there is some cool stuff about that. Like nobody wants to say anything like good about Brock, but like all you've heard in the past week or so is like how Brock has, like, even when he's not been on TV, he's been like backstage and like having like one-on-ones with Oba and like, hey, we're gonna try this or maybe we can do this way or whatever. And it's like, okay, if you don't like Brock for whatever reason, it's not gonna make you all of a sudden like Brock. But if you're Oba Femi and put personality aside for a second, you take somebody that's kind of the same monster that you're portraying and has X amount of experience doing it. It's like, don't completely flip your opinion on the person. But I've always said, and this is why I'll give AEW credit when I think they deserve it. If you don't give credit where it's deserved, all your criticisms go into the toilet.
Exactly. And that's a problem.
It is. It's like, what did we talk about the other week? The Cunningham point.
Yeah.
Friggin' like, she was like featured prominently in the front row at Conor McGregor's fight, and Conor McGregor has been accused of like XYZ. We knew Sophie Cunningham was a terrible person. It's like they were in the same building.
Yeah, like
It's a
let's blame
massive
him.
stretch.
Come on.
It's a pointing is problematic now. Why? It's problematic because the finger's pointed at you because you probably did something wrong.
Yep.
I don't even like basketball, but like shout out Cunningham and Clark. Just saying. And
here's the thing.
Not the mustache weasel that's out there pretending she's the only basketball player to ever do any charity.
Yeah.
I mean, what? This is a wrestling podcast.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Bloodline versus Team Not Bloodline. What are we doing? I'm going with the baby faces, I'm pushing back hard against this idea that Solo Sikoa is like a plant on the babyface team and whatever.
Gotta be.
It's one of those different clusters of people want so much more for LA Knight and Solo Sikoa and Royce Keys.
Yeah.
That I think
they're going with, we got Finn and Sammy on the other show, so at least you got a little bit of hope with this. Yeah. We're like, come on, give us something,
Yeah, but I think it's one of those like where the crowd will like rally. Like if you've got Solo fans and you got Royce fans, you got LA Knight fans, you're gonna hear the crowd change as it goes. And like the Bloodline is just a thing that exists now.
Yeah,
like the Bloodline will get the Bloodline answer. They'll get the response for the Yeet. We call it like the Yeet entrance and whatever, and then they'll show that they're not 100% on the same team with Jacob Fatu because Jacob Fatu is making an entrance down the ramp and blah 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 blah. Maybe
not a
that
cohesive
means something.
Unit. They're not in the same line. They're not lining up exactly.
I think there's problems between Bronco Nima and Lucian Price. How do you know? Because WWE is about as subtle as a sledgehammer.
Yes,
Triple H's sledgehammer actually.
And a jackhammer.
I think. How do I see this one going? I'm going to say the baby faces win. I'm going to go even more specific. Solo pins Jay.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because from their point of view, like Jacob's the one that everybody's behind right now.
Yeah.
Jimmy is so good at being the guy that hasn't done anything, but has been solid. But from WWE's point of view, of like resume and whatever, Jay's been the Intercontinental Champion. Jay's been the World Champion. Solo pinning Jay is the most impactful one on paper. And then, of course, you're going to get somebody in the comments like, well, you don't wrestle on paper. You wrestle on canvas. Fuck off. Everybody that says it thinks they're the first person to ever say it.
Yeah,
and
they think they're just so humorous.
Yeah. Last time I saw something that humorous, it was a bone in my leg. What?
Now
but yeah,
who's
and you know what? It might not be like super main event worthy, but I wouldn't mind Solo versus Jay at like a B pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either. And Solo as a face is interesting to me. Honestly, I do enjoy it. There is a intrigue.
I do agree with the people that are saying like, okay, Solo's basically turning into Ricky Saints while Ricky Saints and Carmelo Hayes are main event.
Yeah, like
that's a bit rough.
That is rough.
I mean, there's another match on this card that they could definitely be in, but they're not.
Okay. But here's the thing, you can't fit everybody, and I wish they could. And
no.
People saying they could, it's not realistic anymore. And I'm glad at least we're getting 6 matches. Like we could not even be getting that realistically at this point.
There's 3 multi-person matches on a 12-match card, which is not too bad.
No.
Which is not too bad at all. I will say, but in the case where people are saying, why aren't Carmelo and Ricky involved in fill in the blank match? I will say there's storyline justification for that question to be asked.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to say whether it's right or wrong.
No.
But there is storyline justification for saying, like, why isn't that a thing? Okay.
Exactly.
We're going through Saturday, and while we're going through Saturday, I might as well say it right here, right now as well, guys. I will be running a pay-per-view day hangout both nights of SummerSlam. Unfortunately, I got a jacked and stacked weekend this weekend that's already kind of underway. I
Uh-huh.
will be at a family function on Saturday, so on both sides of the coin, I'm going to say please don't send me spoilers.
And it
Please don't
comes
send me
down to Sir
spoilers.
Jake over here, so listen to me or I'll ban you forever.
Exactly. And the other half of that coin is, as I say, obviously Jake's going to keep an eye for me, but I'm reaching out to guys like Cody, guys like Guapo, Connor, if he's still kicking around. Looking
He
over
is.
on the other side of the coin where our Wrestling for Life friends are. I'm looking at the MDBs and the C Moneys and the XX Megas and the Bradleys and the Denishas and the Nyers and all of you. And there's going to be names that I've forgotten, and I apologize. Any and all of you, please drop by the chat and obviously come and say hello. But sort of keep an eye out. See, make sure nobody's being ridiculous in the chat because
Yeah.
I won't be there Saturday, but I will be there Sunday. I will be there in my own chat, and I will be there in the other chat, bugging the boys as they do the best watch alongs in the business. Go
Yes,
check out our
indeed.
friends over at the Wrestling for Life Network, KJ and Big Nick. I think KJ, Big Nick, and Anthony already have their preview for SummerSlam up.
Yeah.
I believe it
We'll
went
be
live
reviewing it, but
yesterday.
they're going to do the watch along. If you don't have a way to watch it, come to our open Discord for the Banana Club. And
Jake's going to hook you up.
yeah, you'll be able to watch
Jake's
it with
going to hook you
us.
up.
It'll be in your chat. So this way people can watch.
I mean, we're
along.
definitely all paying for legal ways and
Yes.
means. So we got you covered all the way around. For those of you that know what the WFU is, you got my chat. If you just want to hang out in a chat, you got KJ and Nick who are killing it with the live streams, better commentary than WWE will give you most of the time. And then you got Jake and whoever's along with Jake doing your reviews afterwards. I'm not making any promises, and I'm saying this right to Jake as we're online right now. I'm not making
Yes,
any
indeed.
promises. If I can, I might drop in on the Sunday after show, but
Yeah.
it's very much going to depend on how my day goes. Either way, please go support our friends over there. Please go support Jake. Sub to Jake if you haven't already. And I think that's it for the plugs for
Yes.
now.
Send them some love. And
Another
subscribe to
one.
Spaz.
Another one that's got everybody all wound up and got their knickers in a twist. How's that for an old expression?
Mm.
What are we thinking about Gunther versus Nick Aldis?
All right. I'm very excited about this. I've been, an Aldis fan for obviously some time now, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes of this. Does he have more matches in the future? Is this it? You know what I mean? Like, how does this go down? I'm thinking he has to lose here. He really does, but he was phenomenal in obviously NWA, and he was a great champ there. So I'm very curious. You know?
What do you think of, and I'm pretty sure you'll know where I land on this, but what do you
Mm.
think of this narrative that, like, oh, he retired Goldberg and he retired Cena and he retired AJ and he was supposed to retire Rey Mysterio until that plan got changed. And now he's just fighting his boss.
Just his boss is my bullshit
Yep.
answer of the week. I mean, come on. This is anybody but just a boss. Nick Aldis is not just a boss. He's a Hall of Fame wrestler, but people don't know that because most of these people have never seen him wrestle before. Just like Pierce, just like, we went through this with others before too. So,
They have made mention of it though. They've mentioned it more with Aldis, like over his time as in the GM role, than they have with Adam Pierce, even though Adam Pierce has been with them and in that role longer.
oh my God, what was his name before? I just drew a blank.
Scrap Daddy.
Not Adam Pierce.
Oh, Magnus, Brutus
Magnus.
Magnus.
Magnus. There we go.
And then what was it? It was the original All In Chicago where it was him and Cody for the 10 pounds of gold. Yeah.
Yes. Amazing match.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Cool to see. Like, obviously it's for the purposes of promoting this match, but it's kind of cool to see NWA getting a shout out on SmackDown the past couple of weeks. And
Yeah, going
have you
full
heard the
circle.
news? I don't know how related it is because my knowledge of territories is terrible, pun intended.
Mm.
Apparently WWE has filed to recuperate the trademark for AWA.
Really? Now that's
Yes.
interesting. That huh.
Mm.
That would be I wonder
And
what they'll do with it though is the question. I mean,
And to be fair, as I say, I don't have much nice to say about AEW, but when I do have something nice to say about AEW, I'll bring it up happily.
yes.
Those of you that have been paying attention to this channel know that I did a review for the first ever episode of MLP Mayhem, which
Mm.
shows on TSN up here in Canada. But if you're not in Canada, the My AEW streaming app is featuring MLP Mayhem, MLP Wrestling. So first couple of shows have been really good. I haven't watched the third one as of yet. They just announced that Adam Copeland is going to be at the MLP pay-per-view called Northern Rising that's happening here in Toronto at Maple Leaf Gardens.
Yeah.
So it's very much a Canadian product on our basically Canada's version of ESPN,
Yes,
but
exactly. So very cool that that's
AEW and
happening.
their streaming capabilities are giving our Canadian promotion a worldwide platform. So that's
Yeah,
a big tip of the hat to AEW for that. And they
absolutely.
don't get very many of those from me, but I think it's worth mentioning and worth checking out because the shows have been fun. Nice. It's very much the same as what I say about AAA a whole lot. 1 hour, 2 or 3 matches, some video packages to let you know who's who and what's what. Very, very, very digestible wrestling, and you're going to see
Yeah,
some recognizable names on there
but
because
that's massive though, really, genuinely.
they work with a lot with AEW. So, and obviously Don Callis is there on commentary, so he's talking about the Don Callis family all the time. Mauro Ranallo as a steady presence on wrestling TV again is phenomenal. And Mauro Ranallo and Don Callis actually as a commentary team are pretty fucking good.
Oh, I'm sure. I
Uh,
do not doubt that.
Scott Demore, who's the one that got it back up off the ground. For anybody that doesn't know, MLP is a relaunch of Maple Leaf Wrestling,
Yes,
which it was
Maple Leaf Pro.
MLW back in like the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Featured people like Ric Flair and, Rowdy Roddy Piper and other people like that. I know he's done a proper sit down interview with Ariel Helwani, and I haven't had a chance to sit down and listen to it just yet, but he mentioned the his interaction with Triple H, and his only interaction with Triple H was the day he got let go from TNA, and Triple
Yeah.
H just threw him a text and said, "Hey man, I'm not diving into your business or all that. Just want to know if you're doing all right."
Yeah,
And
which is
he goes on to talk about that a little bit, which I think is
amazing.
very cool. It's very cool for us to have something up here with a little bit of like Canadian identity when you see other wrestling companies that have, oh, here's, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn,
Yeah,
PCO, Bret Hart, the entire Hart family, but like Bobby Roode, Gail Kim, Trish Stratus, Edge and Christian, Chris Jericho,
exactly.
Test.
Everybody comes out of the
Uh,
woodwork.
so it's very cool to see like an equal platform of we want to show what we can do, but we want to invite everybody else in as well.
Yeah.
Like First Faction are our tag team champions right now, but they won them off the Good Brothers. And the Good Brothers ain't Canadian, but that's
No,
okay. We let them
that's
in
all
anyway.
right.
We checked the passports. We checked the citizenship. Everything was above board. That's
It
what they
was
tell you.
great.
Anyways, but yeah, so it is one of those situations of don't have much nice to say about AEW, but this particular thing for my particular niche of Canadian wrestling is very, very so. Hats off to them. Check out MLP if you haven't, and we will carry swiftly on. Is there any chance Nick Aldis wins this?
No. Like I said, I think Gunther wins, cheats, and gets the victory here. And I could see them even doing a rematch, but all this is going to head and continuing on. So he's going to keep wrestling,
Because
and it's going to be
eh,
great.
I hope he does. Because if he has the one match and goes back to just being a boss again, that really doesn't make sense. If he has one match and then goes into like a backstage role and they bring out a new GM, there is one part of the equation that has been left out, and he's busy elsewhere on the card on this particular show. If they don't then have some sort of physical altercation with Nick Aldis and Sami Zayn, that's a big loophole.
Yeah.
Because he cost Gunther at Saturday night's main event, which was a very cool way of getting out and not really giving that match a finish. It fostered all the Punk Cody stuff that we're going to talk about it in a second. But by screwing Gunther, he also screwed Sammy. Pause. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I like Gunther, and this is with no offense meant to Gunther. A Nick Aldis Sami Zayn match is a little more interesting to me.
Yeah.
Like character wise and just bell to bell wise, because I don't know what that looks like. And I
It
own
will
other
be
than the
a
one,
lot of fun. So that's why I'm like, let's see what happens.
yeah, like the only time I have ever seen Nick Aldis wrestle, other than the one like the original All Out show when it was him and Cody, and that was more like the spectacle of like, holy shit, there's a thing that's not WWE, isn't that great? Well, turns out not really.
Yeah.
Anyways, but all my other
Started with
experience
good
of actually
intentions.
penis druids.
Yeah, that's right. You know it.
If we're going to talk about people with like less than stellar reputations in the wrestling world, let's not cast stones. But yeah, like that's the only time I've ever seen him not as Magnus. And I don't care how good a wrestler he is. You come out like with the Trojan helmet on. First of all, there's going to be condom jokes. Second of
Yes, of
all,
course,
it's a
but
character,
it's
right?
still
It's
great.
like what Karrion Kross, like what Vince McMahon did to Karrion Kross on his first run on the main roster was promotional malpractice.
Yeah, sticking him with the freaking,
The gimp
the Mad
outfit.
Max gimp helmet. That was
Oh, what a
horrific.
lovely day. Anyways,
Gasoline.
actually, you know what it is? Because Sammy's match is on night 2. Do we get a situation where Sammy comes in there and like doesn't screw Gunther, but like needs to get his hands on Nick Aldis for his own like revenge purposes and ends up costing Gunther the match?
Yeah, it could very well happen, but I still think Gunther cheats, wins. He needs a big victory after, beating everybody else. I do believe that. And that's pretty much it. All this gets a rematch eventually as he gets to be like, but that's not
Okay,
fair. You cheated.
Jake, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You're forgetting about the marks. You're forgetting about the marks, and the number one rule that the marks have always told us: it's only for WWE, mind you. AEW can do whatever they want, but if you have your debut match in WWE and you lose, you're buried.
Yeah, you're done for, huh? Fuck. I can't forget that. Shit. Well,
I don't
good
know.
thing he's a
I don't
GM.
want.
He's protected from that.
He's not a GM anymore. He had to relinquish his GM role to get the
Listen,
match.
former GMs are null and void from that, so they can't be buried from a first loss. Only if they lose
Okay,
3 times in a row.
sorry. Before we move on, let's have this conversation because I've seen everybody else having it at one point or another. If he's not the GM anymore, like if he's relinquished it and that's a thing, either he's gonna keep wrestling, which would be fine and good, or he's gonna maybe move on to another role. Adam Pearce isn't gonna GM both shows forever. We saw how that worked
No,
before.
yeah, that's
You couldn't have a
not
battle of the
feasible.
brands when one guy was running both shows. So let's have the
Yeah,
conversation. If
it's
not
not
Nick
feasible.
Aldis, who's your next guy? Do you have somebody in mind?
Oh, yes. AJ Styles. I'm not
There we
original with
go.
this answer, but I think this is probably the best answer that they could have for any possible decision is AJ.
Okay. So we're on
I
the
don't
same
think
page
there's
then.
another way around it. He's great on the mic. He's great at his delivery. He's a great authority figure. He comes with a breath of fresh air as far as knowledge goes, and I think that really makes a difference.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel like
It
that
is the right answer
that
in
adds
my
to it.
opinion.
Yeah,
They have to be careful how I hate using this term because it's like a business term, but like
employ.
they have to be careful how they onboard it because
Absolutely.
you gotta write a reasonable story of you are now the boss of like 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 people that a year ago you were in the ring with.
Yeah.
Like the dynamic the dynamic can't change on a dime. Like he
No,
has
there
to come
has to
in.
be
There has to be a couple dickhead heels that are like, fuck you. Last week we were beating you up type thing.
yeah,
And there has to be
exactly.
a story of
Beat
him
up John
gaining
Cena
that.
kinda, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
has to be that.
I think it would be really good. I think here's the thing. AJ and the way he speaks, obviously he's from Georgia, he's got the accent and all that kind of thing. because of that, and because people make fun of his accent so much, rather, he's really underrated as a guy on the mic.
He really is, because he delivers so well. And he gets overlooked and forgotten about.
Yeah. Maybe he needs to get a haircut. Trim those sideburns. But yeah, no, I was trying to like AJ's the first answer that I had as well, but I'm just like, who is sort of kicking around? And everybody's like, well, if WWE wasn't so like politically undesirable, you could have had Mick Foley. I don't want Mick Foley.
Yeah,
Like, fuck me.
No one's
Sitting there
screaming for that.
on worldwide pay-per-view barking like a dog for the
Oh my
ladies. They're
god.
like,
It was
what
so
are we doing?
bad.
I'm so glad Mick Foley went somewhere else where legends get treated properly. Okay.
Yeah, thanks,
They
Mick.
they
You
they
really
zip tied the Rock and Roll Express to a boiler in the basement. Remember that shit?
yeah, really making us look good now, aren't you?
Oh,
Oh god.
They had Sting doing low budget horror movie matches. Anyways,
really, really, makes oh god.
none of it's good.
No.
I want to say Gunther. I'm going Nick Aldis because I feel like something's gonna happen.
I'm going Gunther. I
Okay.
am. I'm sticking with it. Has
All right.
to stay with the gut.
All right. Okay, another one that I'm sure won't rev anybody up. Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. Rematch of the Queen of the Ring, where where Io Sky won her shot at Liv Morgan by beating Liv Morgan.
Make
I
it
don't know,
make
man.
sense. No title defenses. The only thing I can say is 3 words. She is cursed. How does she win with her being cursed? And I'm not just being an ass. Like, I'm genuinely curious. She's cursed.
Well, this is why I said like they should have done this on night 2 and done the Danhausen match on night 1. And then like Danhausen wins the money match, he gets the money, and then he takes that as payment to uncurse her before her match on night 2. It's a silly
Yeah,
story,
but
but
it's something.
it's something. Yeah, I still don't like the fact that people are like, oh, why was she in Queen of the Ring in the first place? Because she's a heel.
Yeah,
One thing about
like,
being a
it's
heel is you're
lazy, but
selfish.
it is a heel thing, so you can't kill it
Well,
entirely.
the whole double champion thing is not it's not anything even remotely new though.
No,
So it's
it's
like, oh,
been there for a while.
like do you remember when who was it, Sasha and Bailey were like both respective world champions and the tag champions, and nobody had a problem with it, mostly because it was
Nope,
Sasha Banks. But like
exactly.
the whole idea of I've got one belt, why don't I win the other one? Because I think if injuries weren't what they were and if other things had fallen out of place, whatever, I know not everybody cares about like old Judgment Day lore and whatever, but if right now what we had at this
Yeah.
show was champion versus champion, Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, you can't say that
Which is
that's
what it was
not a
supposed to
well-built
be
story.
initially. That's why she was winning Queen of the Ring until she
Yeah,
was
exactly.
injured. It wasn't supposed to be Io.
Yeah. I mean, happy for
Originally,
Io.
people
Like,
thought that it was going to be Io. Io was going to win, and then from there, Io was going to challenge Rhea.
face Ripley. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's she's like, that's the easy win. But
see, I don't
whatever.
like that either, in the sense of like Io and Ripley as a tag team, they kind of fell into that and people just kind of loved it. And then they were a tag team for so long that they had to move one of them to a different show, with Rhea Ripley going to
Yeah.
SmackDown, right?
Oh no,
Do
I
you want
agree.
to
Like,
all these people, like these two people that are amazing, don't get me wrong, Rhea and Io are both amazing. You know how I feel about Rhea Ripley.
yep.
But like they were a tag team for so long and you couldn't detach the two characters. So you had to move one to a different show. So your solution is to have the other one win something that takes her over to that show, which would be
Yeah.
boring as shit. Now,
That's
you
why
could
I
say the
always
same
believed it was going to be the other way around. And it was going to be Liv versus Rhea, because that made
Rhea.
sense, title for title, until
And Liv and Rhea have amazing matches.
because then I heard
They
Raquel
do.
was going to win both, but whatever.
Well, Raquel's the new Intercontinental Champion, which is awesome.
Yes.
I kind of wish, you know, like hindsight is always, you know, it is what it is, right? I kind of wish they had given Raquel that moment at SummerSlam, but you have to do some big things on your weekly shows as well. Apparently, random bit of trivia, they were at the Intuit Dome for Raw this week. I hate the Intuit Dome, by the way. as a venue,
I
as
do
a
too,
TV.
because it
Okay,
looks like it's
sorry.
empty.
Well, I was gonna say, as funny as it is to say, I hate the Intuit Dome as a venue that I'm watching on TV.
Yeah.
If I was there, I'd probably love it. Like, to be fair and realistic about it, right?
Yes.
But they sold more tickets to this Monday Night Raw in the Intuit Dome than they did for the Netflix debut, which they basically pushed like a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So it's not
Funny
like
how that
people ain't
works,
buying
huh?
tickets. It's not
No.
like people ain't buying tickets. More people bought, I think, could be wrong, more people bought tickets for this week's live Impact than bought tickets for this week's live Collision.
Yeah.
And this week's live Collision will also be a topic of discussion next week on the state of wrestling. All kinds
Can't
of
wait to
preliminary
talk
cheap
about it next
preliminary cheap plugs. Yes, it's going to be number 1 with a bullet, if you get my
Yeah.
drift.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of matches that are going to wind people up,
All right.
WWE loves pissing people off sometimes.
They do. They do.
I think Liv Morgan's winning.
She's cursed. She's cursed. They're selling Danhausen. He's undefeated. He's going night 2, but like you said, it's backwards. I truly believe that she has to lose this, because if not, what was the point of the curse? And yeah, she's losing. Io's winning, and it's going to lead to Raquel being not given the same, like, Raquel is going to be all excited. She won her match. She's doing great. And Liv's going to be like, oh, but I lost to Io, that kind of thing. And it's going to be like, the attention should be on Raquel, but it's not. And that's going to be the issue there. That's just my guess, because they've been teasing the breakup of Judgment Day for so long now that I just don't know where else they go with it.
Like
but
two out of 3 of them are champions.
they're
What could
succeeding,
possibly go wrong?
right? That's the point.
Actually,
I think it's going to be because they're finally doing so well that it turns to, pumpkin
I tell
shit
a lie.
and pumpkin
It's
pie.
not 2 out of 3. It's 3 out of 5.
Yes.
Because Dominic and Liv are the championship tag team couple thing. They're the next Becky and Seth.
Right. And he is the AAA champ. So
that's what I'm saying. I mean, is Liv Morgan going to go to AAA and fight for the Reina de Reinas championship after Lola Vice gets it? Because I'm not going to lie to you, buddy. Liv Morgan, Lola is something I would is something I would take a look at.
Like I said, I've been more on Lola lately, so
you wish. Hey,
but
all right.
Don't.
Speaking of famous people or infamous people from other combat sports, because of that guy we were talking about a while ago, that's a great transition, and I'm totally awake. I promise.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi.
Yes, Obafemi.
In Hell in the Cell.
I didn't even let you get it all the way out. Obafemi.
Yep.
I just wanted to say it before you said anything. That's what I want. That's what I think is going to happen, and that's what I believe. If they fuck this up, I am of the mindset that they need to be hung and quartered, because this is pretty easy. Right?
But he's not done. Everybody thinks he's done, and he's not done.
I think you might be right. I think he's not gonna be done, and that's gonna be the issue here, is that he's gonna go ahead.
Oh, come on, Jake. You're putting too much stock in the meaning of words. A trilogy could be 5 matches.
It could be 7 at this point. Best of. Really,
it can be the Obrock saga.
When do they stop? Enough's enough. He's already dead.
Oba like stomps into the other company and steals the beautiful diamond ring.
Oh, there we go.
You know what's funny is that's not even an MJF dig at this point. That would mean him beating the shit out of the like fake NWA.
Yes.
Andrade.
Yes,
Andrade versus Oba. Why the fuck not?
Now we're talking. Now we're cooking.
He'd be doing the shimmy. How you know? He'd be like, boom. I know.
You know. That's how I know, you son of a. Just crack him in the face.
Well, they did. Remember when they accidentally like AI generated Dominic Mysterio with the AEW championship?
Yes. Oh yeah. How could I forget?
Real good. It was real good. I'm not going to be home to see this. I'm going to be watching this later on.
My free edits go harder. That's the funny part.
I'm going to have to like lock my phone in a box so that I don't get spoilers.
I
Because, oh my God, if Brock Lesnar wins this, I'm just
know.
gonna laugh. I'm just
I
gonna
I
laugh.
don't see it happening, but it doesn't mean it won't. I mean,
I'm
we've
just gonna
seen
laugh.
crazier things. Honest to goodness gracious, we have.
Well, now that like Paul Heyman has fully disowned the Vision, Paul Heyman disowned the
Yeah, I
Vision.
mean, he's done with them. He's like,
I
"Fuck
mean,
you
hell,
guys, I'm going home."
Austin Theory is catching strays on NXT
Can
because
you
little buddy
blame
came back.
Waller?
Little buddy came back on NXT.
I
And
can't
let a
blame
pipe
Waller
bomb.
at all.
He dropped a pipe bomb on the NXT universe. Talked about Austin Theory, 250 pounds of monotony. Little
Can you
Janetti he
blame
is.
Grayson Waller at all?
Oh, we're gonna talk about that after
Come
we're done.
on. What, the
After we're
best promo in the world?
after we're done eviscerating the New Day propaganda cartoon, we're gonna talk about Waller's pipe bomb, and it's gonna be a lot of.
Oh, we've got so
And we're
much to
gonna
discuss.
and then we're gonna go on a cruise. Anyways, moving swiftly on.
Ah,
Brock Lesnar. I a tiny little bit of me that wants him to win because I want chaos to reign, but I don't want
yes.
Obafemi to lose.
I see what you did there.
Here's the thing. If Brock Lesnar's hanging around anymore, I assume that it's for Saudi Mania so that he can get one more Saudi payday, right?
Yeah.
If he's hanging around and if he's coming off of 2 out of 3 losses to Obafemi, who do you have him have that one last big money match with? Is it Gunther?
Oh boy, I really don't even know who they have that's worth facing at this point. Honestly, I'm not just being a hater. Like I don't know.
I wouldn't say worth facing, but I would
I'm
say
saying
like
worth in a money match sense,
okay.
worth like in the sense of like main
I'm just trying
event.
to think
Who's
about
going to
matches that
sell a
wouldn't look
ticket?
weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a revisit from a long ass time ago, but if neither one of them are champions, do they do Lesnar Punk?
Mm,
I mean, I'm hoping the rematch of Cody and Punk happens at Mania, but
that's what makes me think that
Lesnar Punk is
Lesnar's
something.
done. It is something. I can't help but believe that he's done. Like he's just fucking done. That's what makes me think. Like because I mean we've got so many people that are new, and him staying just eats
I
through
feel like the
all of
Gunther
that.
thing. I feel like the Gunther thing is something on the table.
It
Because
is. I mean,
if
he
people
was
are
supposed to
if people
face
are
Gunther. That was the original plan.
well, if people are still doing this, and I don't agree with this per se. It's like, oh, he retired this person and this person and this person, and then he didn't do anything. If people are still trolling with that, and then he gets to go on and be the one that says, if Gunther can say to Oba in a year, hey, you thought you retired the beast. I actually retired the beast. Now, that's not a real thing, but that's something you can throw in a video package in a year when we get Gunther versus Oba in a
Yeah, you
big
can make
four
that work
CHF.
clearly.
Like the same way that, how can I say it? The same way that Brock used to say, you know, I was the one in 21 and 1 and all that kind of thing, right?
Yep.
You can have Gunther and Oba, which will be a big thing at a big 4 pay-per-view at some point. And Gunther will have the line in his back pocket of, yeah, you're the one that thought he retired the beast. I'm the one that actually retired the beast.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
really
I
did
chopped
it. What did you do?
I chopped him back to Saskatchewan. It's fine, don't worry about it.
It's fine.
I mean, Oba's winning. Like, I mean, it is what it is. I kind of want to watch the world burn. So there's that.
I know you love the chaos and the anarchy
I
of it
do.
all,
I
but
do.
I just don't see it happening. No, I'm not trying to deny you of it.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm sorry, there's a lot more standing room coming back from losing to Brock Lesnar than there is, and I don't dislike this guy, but then there is coming back from I just got beaten by Ricky Saints.
yeah, certainly.
So I think I don't want him to lose. Oba's on fire. Everybody loves him. They're doing the strut. They're kind of ignoring the whole, yeah, I got the strut from Ric Flair. No, we didn't hear that. We don't Flair.
Yeah.
We don't, you know, he
Ric Flair's an
some stuff
asshole.
and
We didn't hear that. Yeah, exactly.
he did some stuff and there was a weird plane ride and we don't really want to talk about it anymore.
We don't believe in Ric Flair. Chop, chop. We don't believe in
He
Ric
wants to
Flair.
have one more. He wants to have one more match.
Ah.
Anyway, Oh man.
He wants to.
Oh,
He
sorry. I
wants
know.
to.
I know. I keep trying to avoid the comparisons with AEW.
Yes.
Another really a good bit of brilliance from what did I call it last week? Brilliance from X, right?
Yes.
Saw a thread, and it was like multiple people like all piling on the same idea.
Yes.
Jack Perry is a better second generation star than Dominic Mysterio.
Oh. What?
Yep.
Ow, my brain.
Yep.
But his dad was an
Wasn't a wrestler.
actor, didn't
Yep.
wrestle. Paul,
And Jack Perry is
911,
getting
brain leaking from ear. Ow.
his dad
Help.
was his dad was an actor, and he's getting paid to be one of the main characters in Tony Khan's like Tarzan fetish videos.
You didn't
Like, what are we
call
doing?
911. You dialed 9021. Oh,
Oh,
Spaz. Help
what did I call?
me.
I called.
Just
No. Here it is. I didn't call 911. I called 9021. Oh. Oh, I just love it. I just fucking stupid ass shit.
and
What
he's
was the
dead.
other one?
But it's funny.
What was the other one? Oh, what was the match at Redemption? It was Mox and Osprey versus the Bucks, right?
Yes.
The real problem with that match, the reason that it didn't work was that Will and the Bucks couldn't keep up with the storytelling ability of Mox. What? I like Mox, but what?
Come on, this can't be a real sentence. Like,
Yep. I find this shit, and then it's like, if nobody's piled in on it and somebody's just like grifting and grafting
no
on
wonder
it, right?
why you're just so angry. I believe it.
Yep. But it's one of those things of like, everybody will just say stupid shit for engagement, right? But it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and then they totally don't think about this part. Oh, the same ones that said, what is it? Toothpicks and biting are a part of a move set.
Yeah. And
We're
you
not
know what
supposed
really
to say
sucks is that
We're
these
not
are the
supposed to say
people
it.
that don't listen, but they're the ones that challenge your stance and opinion so openly. They
They're
will
probably the ones,
not give you the time
Jacob,
of day at all.
Mr. DeMarco, you don't understand.
Yes.
These are the ones that reported Spaz as fake news.
So actually, come to find out, that was Cody, but that was an accident. Yeah, he's a little I can't call him an idiot, but he's certainly a little touched, special.
Well,
And
you got to stop doing that.
I know, but he is the chosen one.
Oh,
And took me a long time to have him perfectly groomed. So I will say this.
you know what's Jake, you know what's more important than equal rights?
What's that?
Equal lefts.
There we go.
Speaking of lefts and rights and probably a whole lot of finisher spam, we got in the
Lesnar's
match
losing.
well, I was transitioning to
I
the
know
next
you were
match.
changing, but I'm just saying again, Lesnar's losing, and you said finisher spam. That's my prediction for that match. It's not even going to be a full on like Hell in a Cell match. Basically, they're going to give us a few times they get tossed into the cell, so a chair shot, some stairs, and that's going to be basically all of it.
Here's the question. Because it's a trope of Hell in the Cell, but I don't see it with these guys. Do we get some cell top stuff or no?
No. Like I said, they're just going to bounce off the cell against each other, stairs, a couple of chairs, and a table, and that's it.
Because we all know Brock does an amazing shooting star press, but I don't need to see
yeah.
Brock Lesnar doing a shooting star press off the top of the cage and
It would be
missing the
incredible to
table.
see him do anything of the such, but
Yeah.
I just don't see him giving it his all, really.
What was it like? What was the story like when like in his early days? Like he did a shooting star press at a house show.
Yeah, and they're like, that was
Vince,
incredible, but never do that again. Yeah.
No, but it was Vince. He didn't say never do it again. He's like, that was awesome, but you saved that for pay-per-view. And I'm like,
was
that's
that it? Yeah,
fair.
something like that. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Like, okay, not getting into defending Vince, even though, some people have all of a sudden gone quiet and private, and we don't really want to talk about that. But like,
he knew how to make money.
no, but even like not even just the money, but like save the spectacle.
He knew. He
And I'm
knew.
sorry,
Yeah.
there's some other people that could do with a little bit of, save the spectacle. But like the whole like, if nothing else,
You mean when
don't
90 people
promise that.
kick out in a match?
Yeah, well, that, but like also like the simple like market or not marketing, but like promotion tactics of like, don't promise something we can't give.
Yep.
Like when he lost his fucking shit when Austin and Punk started talking about having a match. It's like,
Yeah.
we can't do that, so stop fucking
So
saying it.
don't even tease it. Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
get off
like
that. I don't blame him either.
it's
He's like, I don't even want to tease it for the video game because I don't want to present anything that we can't have.
yeah. Well, that's why, like, and I know people are just throwing random shade at Triple H, right? But it's like
Yeah.
when they come up with really lazy shade, and it's like, oh well, him, why he's so bad? He learned everything from Vince. He learned everything from Vince. You mean the most successful wrestling promoter of all time?
Of all, yeah, exactly. Like, for a
It's just like
reason, like you
the
said.
things that people think are insults. It's like, I'm sorry, but it's like when people are like, oh, I bet with an attitude like that you voted for so and so, and you just trying to be like, yeah, I did. Yeah, well, you did. I'm like, yep, I did.
Yep. I
And
I
trust
I
me, it's the
definitely
same thing up
did.
here, but it's not nearly as much fun to make fun of.
Yeah.
Our leader is named Carney. I'm just putting it out there. I know this is a wrestling podcast, and that's the only thing that makes the pun work. But our
But
leader is named Carney.
it's funny.
It is.
You
I'm
have
not
to
saying I did.
laugh.
I'm
No,
not
because
saying I
if you
didn't vote
don't,
for
you're
him, but I
fucked.
didn't vote for him.
Yeah.
Anyways, you
Nobody
know what I
did.
do vote for?
It's
You know what I
rigged.
do vote for?
Get it? What's that?
Everything's rigged. It's fake news. It's not fake news. Cody versus Punk.
Ah. All right. Do you want me to continue cycle go first so I know I'm not just copying you, sir? Because my true
Sure.
beliefs in this, very simple. I think that if anyone was to do anything heelish, I don't think either are turning heel. But I
Mm,
think if anyone was going to do anything, it would be shades of heel.
mm.
And I think it's going to be Cody attempting to cheat, but Punk retains. I think Punk is holding on to the title. Just
Oh,
something
I think Punk's retaining for sure.
I think Punk's winning, and I think it's going to be shades of Cody turning because they didn't want Punk to turn heel, but Cody does apparently, allegedly, in his contract, have it written in that he can turn heel whenever he wants. He just has to
Mm,
say when.
okay.
And that stems from him being screwed over on the build to WrestleMania. So I don't know the legitimacy of that, but regardless, either which way, I still feel like we've got to know that Punk's retaining.
Okay. I think Punk's retaining as well. I think, and I'm gonna say this for a match on night 2 as well. But I think a lot of my curiosity and enjoyment for this match comes out of the fact that there's not an established babyface or heel.
Yeah.
Because I go back to my old example, like we never got peak lie, cheat, steal Eddie Guerrero versus peak dirtiest player in the game, Ric Flair, in a who can be the bigger asshole match.
Yeah.
Like where they're both kind of coming from the same place. Because there's no face or heel in this match per se, it's very like it's two of the most, I don't want to say controversial, but like polarizing figures in
Yep.
wrestling. People think what they think of Cody, people think what they think of Punk. Everybody has an opinion of CM Punk. Everybody has an opinion of Cody Rhodes. So no matter how they booked this, and to
Yes.
be honest with you, I really don't care how they booked it. I care that it's happening.
Exactly.
I think they've done a good job with it, but I didn't care how they got here once I knew we were going here. And I think because it's so much of the crowd's just going to pick their guy on the night match, I think you open up the scope for storytelling of both of these guys to be assholes to each other, and it won't mean that either one of them is heel.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
It'll be like match, wrestle, wrestle, wrestle. Oh,
Rebel.
somebody trips or somebody like thinks that they were going for something that they really weren't. So the other guy tries to get them with the first cheap shot that's actually the first cheap shot, and then all bets are off.
Yep.
I think
I
it's going to be
agree.
fantastic. I'm very curious to see what the crowd sounds like. I'm very pissed off that I'm not going to be seeing this live.
I know. And I don't blame you, but
More like, even if I wasn't going to be like away, like even if I was going to be home on Saturday to watch this with all you guys, I'm still pissed off it's night 1.
Yeah, it does
because
suck that they're doing it this way because it feels like
the
it should be the main event. But people are saying that, oh, well, Punk already got his. Well, so did Roman. Roman was in that match too, and he's getting the
I
night
see. I
two
won't
main
make that,
event.
but
So
like
I
I
know,
have
but
a
that's the
very
argument online. I know
yeah.
you're not saying
Oh,
that,
okay.
but it's like, what the fuck? Like, they give Roman the biggest break in the
Mm.
world, like fucking off.
But see, here's the thing as well, and here's where I have to describe a pretty weird thing, right?
Mm,
The more interesting match, or sorry, the more I don't even know how to say this properly. Like the deeper match is Roman and Seth.
yeah,
Whether it's like the rest of the bloodline stuff in general, but it's like if you're in it, you're in it. Going past the bloodline stuff to old Shield lore, it's again, if you're in it, you're in it. I happen to be in it. I like it. I love digging like 5 years back, 10 years back, and like rolling everything forward again.
yeah,
So
exactly.
Roman and Seth is the better story, CM Punk and Cody, for multiple outside reasons, and yes, my own personal bias included, is the bigger match. So it's like comparing apples and dynamite.
Exactly.
So it's not that one is bigger than the other, it's that one is a story and one is a gigantic match. So which do you
Yeah.
put first? Because
No,
any other time, and like I know people are sick of mostly Seth specifically, which I don't understand. I still think Seth's great.
yeah,
But anybody else in Roman and Seth's position, there wouldn't be a question. Look how long this has been going. This is so like long standing and long rooted and so heated, and there's so much history and there's so much vitriol and they've got so much venom to throw at each other. How could
yeah,
this not be the main
exactly.
event? How
How
could
could it?
this not be the main event until you bring in CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes? And all you need to do is put that on the poster. Here's all the
Yep,
story. Here's everything behind this match on one side,
every
and here's
fucking thing you
and
need.
every fucking thing you need. And on the other side, you've got a match that doesn't need any build. Just tell me those two people are fighting.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you got to
Yeah.
do.
And of course they're gonna put in some stuff. Like they're gonna edge towards mentioning AEW. They're gonna with the pipe bomb, and they're gonna talk about like, you know, Punk and Cody in their early days and whatever. And they're gonna like tell you that story. Whereas Seth and Roman is something that we've been with every step of the way. Cody and Punk is like starting off at the finish line and saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, we have all this history."
Yeah,
So it's very strange. I get if it wasn't Cody and Punk, if it was any other match, there's not a single person that could tell me that Roman versus Seth shouldn't be the main event of the entire week. But
exactly. No, you're not
it
wrong
is
there.
but it is Cody and Punk, and that's all you need. It would be
Exactly.
like
That's
as I
why I'm a
say,
little
like we're
confused as to why they're not having it be the main event, and they have such a heavy weighted night one. Like it's really
yeah.
uneven to me, anyways.
Yeah, I think there's some stuff like I think it's being held up. There's more main events on night one. There's a much stronger and more robust middle on night two than there is on night one. Because the middle on night one is two 6-person match, which runs the risk of just feeling repetitive if you don't do it
Yes.
properly. Right?
Yep.
There's a much stronger mid card, and the mid card is important on night two. And what it kind of does is it kind of lets Roman and Seth be the only main event on that show, which makes me think, what the fuck are they doing on that match? But we'll get to there in a second. Punk versus Cody. Punk is winning. They're both going to be dickheads to each other.
Yep.
I kind of
No
want
matter
to.
what. Yeah, they're done being
I kind of
cordial.
want it to devolve. Like I don't. I never want. Again, losing my words a little bit with Cody and Punk. It's so unique. I never want there to be a clear heel face dynamic between the two of them. If they're gonna turn, or what most people will call a turn,
Yeah.
let them both become more and more and more asshole to the point where like Cody's friends are in one locker room and being like, "Fuck are you doing?" Punk's friends are in the other locker room with him being like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?" Like it's one of those things where their rivalry sends them both on a downward spiral that affects everybody else. It affects the
Yeah.
show. It affects the whole thing. But like, I always kind of want them to be bouncing off of each other in a what's the term? Mutually assured destruction.
Yes. Yeah, everybody's
So
on the same page.
I never want there to be a clear heel and face dynamic. I just want them to be. I want them to be
Like
able to be
Shades of
cheered
Grey
by.
forever. Yeah.
No, I want them to establish the fact that they can be as dickhead as they want, but
Yeah.
still enough loyal to themselves that their particular side can cheer for them.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, it's
Yeah.
never a full heel turn. It's always like just elements of being an asshole without going full bad. Yeah.
Again, like it's an easy example to go back to, but like Eddie got himself to a point where he was so
Yep.
loved,
That's what I
he
always
could
go back to
he
because
could
he was an
cheat every
asshole,
match
but
and everybody would still love him and they wouldn't see him as a bad guy.
no.
If you see Punk do something absolutely horrible to Cody, it'll be not because he's suddenly a bad guy, but oh my God, this thing with Cody has driven him to this point, and Cody can have the exact same thing.
Yep. You nailed it.
I don't know. Anyways, I'm going
Yeah,
with
that's
Punk
why I think Punk
because there
wins,
is,
Cody loses.
and my reasons are twofold. A, I'm a Punk guy. It is what it is. But also B, there is a contingent of people that are starting to see Cody Rhodes as sort of like the lol Cena guy.
Yeah.
And let's pull away from that a little bit. Like let's after this, like let them collide and bounce off and not come back together till maybe like WrestleMania next year or something. So like they avoid each other, they avoid each other, they avoid each other. SummerSlam happens, they crash into each other, and then they
Yep.
almost bounce away again.
Exactly.
And then whatever that
Opposing
match did to them
forces.
affects both whatever their next things are. The other thing I'm kind of hoping after, because we all think that the big story coming after SummerSlam is Big Bill and possibly showing up on.
Yeah, I got it.
What
Possibly Enzo. I
what
mean,
if
Liv was
they
found by Triple H's, personal trainer at Enzo's Hooters. So
there you go. But no, but what if that's what we got on Raw and then what we get on SmackDown is, triumphant celebratory CM Punk interrupted by Kevin Owens.
right, would be great. I'm all for it.
There's an entirely different kind of interest with a Punk Owens thing. Cuz I'm pretty sure that Punk Owens will be Punk Kingston but better
Yes, absolutely.
because neither one of them is Eddie Kingston.
And
Anyways,
neither
moving
one of them
swiftly on.
is also Eddie Kingston. I used to like Eddie too, but that was
Mhm.
he just didn't he disappointed every time in AEW. He
Mhm.
did. Except for his debut with Cody, everything following that just never lived up to what he could do before. I don't know if he just refused to ever get fit again, and that was like the biggest problem of it or
I
what,
don't even
but
you know what it is? I don't care if you're fit, man. Like
no, like I
Dusty
don't
was
care
a
either,
star, Kevin
but
Owens
he
is a
couldn't
star,
wrestle
like
anymore like he used to. Like
yeah.
it made a difference. Like he was very
And see, my problem with him was never that. It's for me, him and
well, his
the fuck's
cardio
his name?
sucked and he started
Well,
like
that.
not being able to wrestle. That's what I cared about.
Yeah. And you know what? That probably should be what bothers me, but it's not. It's the very simple, like if I'm watching you on TV and you make me cringe, like you
That
got to
doesn't
work
go
a whole lot.
away. Yeah.
Like Cody used to make me cringe for a
Mhm.
while.
But he
Like when he
worked
was
hard.
everything was a cry, everything was a do you remember somebody else
Pepperidge Farm
mentioning his
remembers.
dad
Yeah.
and I'm never gonna fight for the title again
I
and yeah, they
solved
did that.
racism. Yeah.
Oh, that Anthony Ogogo thing is gonna go down in infamy. I'm not gonna lie.
That
Um,
is infamous,
but no,
certainly.
it's Kingston and it's also Hangman Page. It's like I
Yep.
don't believe you're a badass, and sitting there like going bug-eyed like a cartoon character, screaming down the hard cam, "You better take me seriously,"
Yeah,
which
it
is what they
doesn't
both do. Is not going to do it. And I'm sorry, I know people talk about, that one thing that he did in Anarchy in the Arena. What was that one thing? Well, he walked down the ramp in a bloody t-shirt and it was white so that it would show more and he came down with a gas can like he was an NPC from a video game. That's not anything.
yeah,
You
no
know
one
how
stopped him, no one cared. It just
and we know
went
you're not going to set somebody
on.
on fire. Like what are we
Yes.
doing?
And if you do, it's
Like
which they have, it's a stunt.
I'm
That's
sorry,
silly.
it's like there's awesome stunts, there's risky stunts, and then there's stupid because that we're not gonna do it. The
Yep.
fucking and I like Chris Jericho and I like Tommaso Ciampa, and I've even enjoyed both of them in AEW.
But that drill,
They're like the drill spot was fucking stupid, and he
it
shows up
looked
on
stupid.
Dynamite he shows up on Dynamite 3 nights later with a Band-Aid on.
Yeah, because
Like, you're not going to set somebody on fire. You're not some fucking gangster from a, not Gears of War, GTA game or whatever. Like, you're just not. Better take me fucking seriously. I dressed in green because I like Japanese wrestling and I used a back fist.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an hurricane. I don't care.
There we go. That's what we're focused on.
You're like a little kid watching a guy pretend to be tough on TV and pretending to be that guy. What do badasses do? The t-shirt, bloody t-shirt. I don't know. They set stuff on fire or whatever. Is this something? Is this anything? No.
And
Eddie
they
Kingston
wear
can fuck off.
sunglasses.
And you know what? Apparently, he does a lot of really cool shit outside of wrestling, charity-wise, like advocacy and all that kind of thing. You know what?
It doesn't
That
carry your
is
in-ring.
awesome. That is awesome. It's like Angel Reese. It doesn't make me forget that you have a mustache.
Yeah.
Moving swiftly on. I don't
It's
care.
Not helping.
I'm sorry. Honest to God, the only thing I can think of off the top of my dome that was like, there's a cool thing that AEW did that I don't think we're going to see in WWE is MJF CM Punk, the dog collar match.
Yeah.
You can't tell me. Maybe the Wardlow interference at the end if I want to be really, really nitpicky, but I'm not even going to be that nitpicky. I think that's pretty much perfect beginning to end. What's it called? The Misery and Cantria or whatever, the intro from ROH.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. The dog color match was so good. It was so perfect.
But everybody's like, oh, but his stuff with Kingston was better. No, it wasn't.
No.
The whole line he gave him, like the second or the third best Eddie and the second best Kingston that I've ever wrestled. Like,
yeah.
Folks, tell me when I'm telling lies.
There was no topping that.
Yeah.
Ever.
I mean, his introductory match with Darby was.
It was good.
That, but like the MJF thing, MJF as like the one solid, I could say like AEW introduced me to this person would be MJF and Darby Allin. And Darby Allin's kind of become a crash test on me now, but I still like him. I'd rather watch Darby
totally
Allin.
Agree.
I'd rather watch Darby Allin than like fucking Leo Gollum Rush.
See, I like Leo Rush right now. I think it's funny. I don't think it's.
Jake. You know the kind of stuff.
Next level.
You know the kind of weird shit that I like. I should like what Leo Rush is doing. So the fact that I don't, or the fact that I can't get into it, says something. Because it should be right up my street. And
it's shocking me that it's not.
I mean, it's a step up from being in WWE and pointing at Bobby Lashley's ass. But I mean, is it really?
Is it though?
He's the like second or third mid-card championship in ROH that isn't even on TV. Let's talk about it. Is it better?
I mean,
no, I don't think it is. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. CM Punk is winning, yeah?
Yeah. Night 2, sir.
Let's before we get to there.
Yes.
Before we get to that. CM Punk, my immediate next thing is CM Punk comes in triumphant on SmackDown, and if I get my way, he's confronted immediately by Kevin Owens.
Okay.
Cody Rhodes loses at SummerSlam. We walk into SmackDown the following Friday. What's Cody Rhodes doing? Because it's very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you got to
unless it backtracks to a him and Sammy thing.
It depends on who wins too, you know.
Yeah. Do we get Oh, that's true as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll get to that in a second, but I don't think it's going to be Sammy. Let's just put it that way. Do we get a weird like Cody and Aldis versus Sammy and Gunther thing?
Possibly.
They tiptoe around the history between Cody and Aldis because it happened at All In, which was AEW before AEW was a thing.
You nailed it. I think that'll be like the Saturday night's main event on Sunday match.
Oh, the Sunday night's main event. Yeah. I like the fact that even the logo is like a scratched out Saturday with Sunday.
That made me chuckle.
They're having fun with that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
they should.
So that's the end of night 1. That's the one that I won't be there for. What will I be there for? And maybe it's just that I'm excited because I'm going to actually be there for them. And I'm not going to start with the main event because this is written in a really weird order. the match that some people think need to have 2 more people in it, but Trick Williams versus the returning Baron Corbin.
So Trick should win this, but do you really have Baron Corbin lose his debut match?
I don't think you do.
Makes you wonder, right?
Here's the thing, and it's one of those chicken and egg things.
Yes.
They need to at least experiment with how the crowd will treat Trick Williams in a main event scenario.
Yeah.
So, again, we get back into that whole title thing that we were talking about before. Do you have him go after the main title while he's still US champion? I would say no.
I would say no as well, so it doesn't hurt to lose it. And you
So
can
it's
have
one of
Baron
those.
Corbin cheat. He's already got heat.
Yeah. It is one of those situations of I might get excited if I see him lose. It's very
Yeah.
much Roxanne Perez, former NXT Women's Champion. Like, let's take the title off of her so she can go ahead and move up. It's the main roster version of that.
Yep.
So and Baron Corbin's like criminally underrated. He's left WWE. He's done all kinds of cool stuff on the indies. He was tag team champions in MLW
Yes.
Jack as the Skyscrapers.
Yep.
Which sounds like a cool thing that I would be checking out if I wasn't lazy.
Yeah.
To be perfectly
It was
honest.
a really great pairing.
Thing is, people are saying like, oh, it's like because Ricky and Carmelo have been so intertwined with this United States Championship situation that Baron Corbin basically invaded. Oh, can't say invasion. Showdown.
Yes.
Making it a multi-person match would take the sting off of Trick losing to go upwards because maybe he doesn't have to lose. There's rumors that Dragunov is going to be at SummerSlam, and we haven't seen Dragunov in forever. So is that a thing?
I don't know. That's interesting too.
Again, with the whole like, is this anything type of thing? But like, if you look at that field, like I do want to see Trick move up. But as far as we talk about like the mid card, say you were building towards, Elimination Chamber, we'd have to go with the number 6, right?
Yes.
If you get Trick, Corbin, Ricky, Carmelo, returning Ilya Dragunov, and I don't know, one other person. Throw Ray Phoenix in there as well. Like, your title picture's not doing too bad a shape if I can rhyme off an Elimination Chamber off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I know that's a kind of a weird metric and a weird measuring stick, but there's been times where it's like, okay, Elimination Chamber's coming. Who do we have for challengers?
Who's left?
I kind of think.
Yeah.
I kind of think Corbin wins,
Okay.
Because I think if not, because we have a number 1 contendership match coming up as well, that we're going to talk about in a second. Is it a case of Trick Williams gets inserted into the world title picture, or is he just going to start mixing it up with main event picture level guys? Like, does Randy Orton make his return and challenge Trick? And in that whole, like, hey, you're seeming to get hot right now. Like, why don't I see if I can take you down a peg? Randy Orton versus Trick. I mean, other than a really badly botched RKO, he did a pretty good job with Javon Evans on NXT.
Yeah. No kidding.
I don't know.
Really good job.
It feels like they established him with the United States Championship, and then it's like, take the next step. Come on now. Take the next step.
Don't stop.
Believing.
Yeah.
Oh my
needs
gosh.
to hurry up. Come on.
Hold on to that tricky feeling. Anyways.
So I thought Trick probably shouldn't lose. He just got his fuzzy belt on. Get your fuzzy belt on. But now he's got a chance to do something bigger, something more. And especially
I'm sorry. I do have to say that was a ridiculous image of like Baron Corbin makes his big comeback, lays everybody out, and stands triumphant with the furry belt.
That's even better to me. I thought it was just perfect.
It's good.
Like,
it's good.
That's one of the things I love about wrestling.
When people have custom title belts, right? I think it would be cool. Like, how they have the they have that little podium thing there now, and it's usually got like the logo of the pay-per-view on it, and it's where the belt sits properly. Like they don't hide the belt behind the timekeepers area anymore.
Yeah.
If somebody has a custom title belt, like in Trick's case, he's got the fuzzy IC title, right?
Yes.
Every time he defends it, the original belt should be standing out there on the podium because the new champion, if they win, isn't going to take the furry belt
Yeah,
unless your
no,
name
I
is
agree.
Edge unless your name is Edge and you just beat John Cena for the spinner belt and the spinner belt became the regular belt, which was
And that's it.
trash.
Yeah, that was only for
But like,
bitches.
do you think like for like a matter of like propriety or however you want to say it, like we thought it was really cool when Trey Miguel went back to TNA and he won the international championship almost immediately. And he had that like super vibrant green, like rascals colored.
Super vibrating what? Oh,
Oh
vibrant.
my god. Oh my
Gotcha.
god.
My
But
bad.
that vibrant like neon green, almost DX-ish version of
DX
the
had a
international.
vibrator that was green? That makes sense. I get it. And you know what I don't get? Is how, for the love of God, they haven't made us know what's opening the show. I still think Obafemi's opening night one, but I think this Trick and Corbin match could be the opener for night two. What say you, sir?
I have a theory. Not an Austin
Oh,
theory, but I have a theory, and we'll get there. We will
okay.
get there. Anyways, my long and meandering point was if you have a custom title, like whoever the powers that be are should
Ah,
have
yes.
like the initial belt because that's what you're actually fighting for
Yeah.
at the side of the ring there. But
No, you're right. It should always
anyways, no,
be represented.
my example of Trey Miguel was like when he was beat by Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali is not now carrying that neon green championship because it was Trey's
Yeah.
title.
Yeah. It was only
Now,
for
it's
him.
not the TNT title. It's had like one different belt strap for every single person that's won it. But anyways,
Yeah.
it
Hey,
was pink. It was pink for a while there to
it was
match
purple. It
Kyle
was
Fletcher in his
multicolored.
manties.
Don't forget the multicolor
Uh,
one.
okay, I will say immediately when Kenny won the belt and the Bucks were like, "You shouldn't be carrying that belt," and then they just
Yeah.
chuck the Burberry belt away and they give him the initial
Yes.
belt back. That was a cool thing.
Right in the trash.
I don't particularly like the Bucks, but that was a pretty cool like, ew, it's an MJF belt. Pick it up with one finger and drop it in the bin.
Yes, it certainly fit with their characters and the
That was very cool.
backstage implications and implications. Certainly.
And I will say, even though while I'm tossing them a little bit of positive, the pay-per-view itself was a joke, and the ending of the last match was incredibly predictable. But I will say, Kevin Knight
Yeah.
and Kenny Omega, in an impossible situation of yeah, we know who's winning, we know All In is coming, still put on a banger of a match, and Kevin Knight had a decent like, hey, this is what I can do in a main event scenario type of showing. So that was pretty cool. That's worth mentioning.
Absolutely.
Anyways, so Trick Corbin.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my answer. I think Corbin is losing his
Okay.
debut and Trick's gonna
Hey, we
win.
don't agree on everything.
Even though I think it's probably gonna go the other way, I'm staying with that prediction just because Trick just got his fuzzy belt and it's like, he probably will lose, but there's just something in me with Trick that's like, all right, I gotta stay supportive. I gotta
Hmm.
think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's one of those I want Corbin to win if it means something better for Trick.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
speaking of people getting better things that are long overdue, because that's kind of what we were doing. Does Finn
Yes.
Balor finally get himself back into world title contention when he faces Sami Zayn in an on pay-per-view number one
Mm.
contenders match? When was the last time? Okay, I know other companies have done it, not just AEW. I think TNA has done it as well. When was the last time? And I'm not talking about Chamber or Rumble before anybody gets in the comment section and thinks they're clever.
Yes, that
When was
doesn't
the
count.
last time? When was the last time there was a one-on-one number one contenders match on a Big Four pay-per-view? Because it feels unique enough.
It's been a while, certainly.
It feels
Aaron
very
Lewis
unique.
knows it's been a long time. Certainly been a while.
Actually, I will say King and Queen of the Ring, but that's as part of the King and Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, that's part of it
So
too. That's a cheap answer.
I'm still gonna say it doesn't count.
Yeah, no.
I think it's very unique. I think how we got here is pretty cool because as we were talking about before, Nick Aldis screwed over Walter, but it also screwed over Sami Zayn. Adam Pearce says, "Okay, Sami Zayn, here's you. Here's a bunch of people Punk says he wants to fight. One of them is going to face you for the number one contendership, and it's Finn Balor." So Sami Zayn's losing. Finn Balor, Jesus Christ, Finn Balor versus Punk. We're getting another go around of that. It's gonna be
Yeah, we know
awesome.
it's gonna happen too, but CM Punk, I liked him in Finn Balor. I really did.
The one in Ireland and
And
then the rematch.
yeah, so I'm excited for this. I think it's gonna go well. And obviously, as I just said, Finn Balor wins. Yeah. Simple as that.
And the fact that
I
it's just
think
going to be
Sammy has
like
to lose because of his character, because then he can bitch about getting screwed yet again. Like that's just more
it is kind of funny that
more
we've given
gripes,
you
more sour
we,
grapes. Yeah.
we've given you constant opportunities. Yeah, but you screwed me. Okay, I'm going to give you another opportunity at SummerSlam. You lost. Yeah, but you're screwing me.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. That's
See,
the
the funny
sweet
thing about
stuff.
like Sami Zayn's character as this like flummoxed, like always sort of like being undercut, finding conspiracies that aren't really there, it means he can always be over and never win a title. But I'd also kind of like him to win a title at some point. But
Oh,
Finn
we
Balor's
all
back
would.
on the rise. They're finally throwing a motor back behind Finn Balor post Judgment Day. The fact that the Fatal 4-Way last week on SmackDown was him and Damian Priest against each other for the first time since the breakup of the Judgment Day, and they didn't really flag it all up that much because you don't want to plant the seeds of a feud there because they've both broken away from the Judgment Day and they're both baby faces now.
Yeah,
Was a little
exactly.
odd to me because who was it? It was Priest and Finn and Hobbs and
Um,
Trick.
Trick. Jesus.
Yeah.
Right as you said
So
it, it was coming to me. I was like,
but
yep,
it was
yep,
just
yep.
like it's buried in like with two other wrestlers. But at the same time, these are the guys that used to be in the Judgment Day. These are the guys that fought when one of them was kicked out of the Judgment Day. These are the guys that now neither one of them is in the Judgment Day, and now they're just in a match.
Yep. Now they're
Judge,
just fucking there.
Judgment Day lore doesn't exist on SmackDown when you consider like all the cast-offs of the Judgment Day end up on SmackDown.
Yep.
It's like loser leaves the faction and the show.
And the show.
And scene. I do think that this is another one that is almost designed to catch us off guard. Like we know it's going to be a good match, but we're still going to come out at the end being like, holy fuck, that was a good match.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who, like, I'm always sort of thinking, like, what's the shenanigan going to be? What's the cheat going to be? What's the interference going to be? With Finn and Sammy right now, there's nobody really fucking with either. I mean, like, Tama Tonga's fucking with Finn a little bit,
But
but I
it's
don't think
not
it's
to the
one of
degree
those,
that it
like,
was before. Yeah.
and Sammy's thing is with Aldis, who will probably be in traction by this point. But yeah, I'm
He's
going Finn.
dead.
I'm going Finn. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Finn
This is
Balor as well. I'm totally agreeing with you.
for a very particular generation of fans, this is like a dictionary definition NXT match
Yes.
of a particular time in NXT. And it's just
Abso-freaking-lutely.
happening. It's just happening to be going on in a massive stadium in Minnesota. I mean, I think they're
Um,
out. I think they've outsold All In by like a whole fuckload of a lot. But hey, who knows? There
I
might be
think
funny.
so. I
If
think
you
you're
follow me
right.
on X,
You would
there
know
might
for
be really,
sure.
really funny. There might be really funny animations of a SummerSlam logo eating an All In logo, but I couldn't possibly confirm or deny.
No.
Uh,
Whoever that is. That's
but
Spaz Phoenix
one ticket for
Pod.
2 nights is one ticket. No, it's not. It's 2 tickets. That's why you buy 2.
That's the
All
point.
right. Now that we're done using them as punching bags, let's talk about some fun stuff.
Yes.
Let's talk about what some people that like to be dramatic are calling the worst segment in wrestling history.
Oh boy.
Danhausen and Joe Hendry had a concert. Fuck off.
Now, here's the thing. I don't feel like this was the worst segment ever because this didn't ruin them. It was more of the same. Was it great? No, but it didn't hurt either one of their characters. WWE put money, time, and production into it. They
Mm,
had dancers, they had costumes, they had a new song. Was it a great song? No. Did it have a bunch of effort? No. Was it simple? Yes. But they still care about Danhausen. What did AEW do? They gave Foley a live mic and he embarrassed himself. Now he can never be trusted with a live mic in a segment again. And, and, and they know that not only did they go ahead and embarrass the women's tag team champions, but they also went ahead and embarrassed women's wrestling and the tag titles for women as well. So
mhm,
Foley fucked up on multiple levels, hurt many people and a whole division. As for WWE, their bad involvement was that the sponsor they have to answer to told them to include a guy who's a known racist and homophobe. That's not
mm.
their fault. That's TKO's because they have Zuffa boxing ties. Come on.
And see, I'm not even like okay, and again we go back to the boxing thing, which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know who the fuck the guy was. And there's a lot of that with the UFC crossover, with the boxing crossover. There's a lot of people where it's just like, I don't know who that person is. This particular crossover isn't for me. I'll go take a piss
Yeah.
because I'm a normal adult. Right. But no, but even like the segment itself, like the presentation of it itself, they had the mini housings again, which is nice. I think the ladies that they had dancing outside the ring were like the local like cheerleaders of the area. So that's like, I don't want to say community outreach because that sounds like charity, but that's like community involvement, integration, however you want to say it. And here's the thing, Danhausen has a goofy gimmick. Joe Hendry is a great wrestler, but has a goofy gimmick.
Yep.
You brought them together. I'm sorry, folks, it wasn't going to be fucking Shakespeare. It wasn't.
It was not.
It's intentionally bad. The organ is playing, but Danhausen's hands aren't even on it. That's the shtick.
Yep.
Like, but this is where I go to again, and this is where I have a whole lot of time for how these cards are laid out. I said it about the men's trios match on night one. People are going to be mad that I've used the word trios, and I'm saying it again here. There's a lot of stuff on here that's mid card or lower, and it is there to fill out a more broad card because they've got like 12 matches on here. Nothing in that mid to lower card is pretending to be main event worthy.
No.
Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio is not being presented to you by WWE on the same level as CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to say that they are, or you're trying to measure them with the same stick, you're a grifter and you need to go and touch grass. The oxygen won't hurt you, I promise. This is going to be fun.
It is. Danhausen's going to win.
I
He's
don't think
not
he is.
losing. He's undefeated. I think Danhausen wins. When
I don't
Danhausen
think so.
loses, it's going to be a special. So I'm glad we don't agree.
Here's the thing.
Dom needs to go back
a-
to AAA and look like a badass because on the main roster, that belt is shit.
Here's the thing. I don't think the belt is shit on the main roster. I just think it's nothing. Like nothing
Well,
negative
that's what I'm
has happened.
saying. No,
Nothing negative
it's
has happened
being
to it,
used
like-
like shit, I guess I should say. Like they just haven't
Well,
done
it's an
anything to
ornament.
present him as a champion.
ornament, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They do it. I think the way that they're presented more as, look, here's Liv and Dom, and they're both champions.
And they haven't even really done that for a while. Like they hasn't
Yeah, well, they're
been a focal point.
well. The thing is, like as much as the Judgment Day is still the Judgment Day, and there's 5 of them, it does really feel like when it's the ladies out there on the show, and other people could learn from this. When it's the ladies on the show, the ladies are the focal point. So it's just
Yes.
Roxanne and Liv and Raquel. There is a positive element to that. It
Sure
would
is.
be like AJ going out for a title and not having Punk in her corner. That's the babyface equivalent, right?
Mhm.
And then they all meet up in the back in the clubhouse and whatever, and it's lame because it's not really a clubhouse. Okay, fine. Sure. You know what?
Say so.
You know what? The Peep Show wasn't a real talk show either. It was a bunch of chairs in a ring. By the way,
Dun,
wrestling's not
dun.
real.
Yeah, sorry. You know, like come
But
on.
like, and here's the thing, like they can interact in the back and it's fine and whatever. You don't see them being presented as a couple of champions because they present themselves separately. And I think Dom has spent more time. He spent more time in AAA, obviously, as the champion, but also spending less time on WWE because he's not going to be seen in the same vein as your Rollinses and your Reigns and even like Penta and Gable, who we're going to talk about in a second, and a couple of other people.
Yes.
Like, if you show him, then it shows where he is, and it kind of reminds you. If you don't show him, you can think of him as higher because you only see him in AAA where he's the champion.
Yeah, you can't miss what you haven't seen. Can't forget
Yeah.
which, like the same idea, just vice versa. But
Like there's like
I agree.
imagine the crossover with TNA, right? Like, okay, they always have people show up in the Rumble, or in the past couple of years they've had people show up in the Rumble. They've had Jordan Grace before she came over. They had Joe Hendry before she came over. I would imagine maybe some other people. Mickey James made her come back or whatever.
Yeah.
Nick Nemeth is the TNA champion.
Yes.
If you throw him in a Rumble with Brock Lesnar and Obafemi and CM Punk and Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn and Gunther,
And Zack Ryder.
he's not Nick Nemeth, the TNA champion anymore. So
No.
don't do that.
No, you're not wrong. Yeah.
Like, I get what you mean. Like, they don't show the title very much, but I don't think they've done anything to put it in a negative light. I think it's more
No,
of a
they haven't
neutral
damaged
light.
it, but that's the thing. Like, they haven't presented him as
neutral.
a champion at all, and I feel like that should be the case when bringing
Well, they
someone
kind of suffered.
over and forward. But
They kind of suffered with the last special that they did, or the special that's actually ongoing still. They kind of had to throw him in a tag match, very much like Punk and Cody were on Saturday night's main event, because he wasn't going to defend his title at that particular show because we know he's already got a match coming up at the next show. So they
yeah,
kind of had to put him in a holding pattern for a little bit. It's like whoever the world champions are in that gap between the Rumble and Mania. Like, they might do some cool stuff, but it is
but
a little. But if you're a champion, you're in a little bit of a holding pattern for it. I think Dominic is in his own version of that right now. If Triple Mania had already come and gone, and if they had passed the title on to Ludwig Kaiser, then I would say, yeah, Danhausen gives him a funny loss on his record. There's,
yeah,
there's failed magic, and he gets a firework up the ass or whatever.
we get the
I
return
don't
of
think,
Ludwig Borga. Yeah, it's all
yeah,
exciting.
I don't think you have Dominic Mysterio slip on a banana peel like that for the comedy guy while he's still carrying the belt of the brand new brand that you're trying to push forward.
Yeah, Ludwig just gets to go ahead and talk about his side of politics the whole time. He'd love it.
Oh dear. Just don't be kissing aggressively in elevators. All right.
or making out with Goldust backstage. Either or was it Ahmed Johnson? Still, forget it. We'll figure it out. Damn finish.
That's why they called it the Pearl River Plunge.
Ah,
There's a deep cut for those
I usually
wrestling
just
fans of a
call
certain
it
age.
the big time fest, but
Oh dear.
no.
You know what's funny is you're doing all the sound effects, so you're censoring yourself.
That's right, you stupid
All right.
son of a.
So here's where
Way
I
to
have to
censor
stick
me.
in. Oh no. Here's where I have to stick in the little bit of information that we have to stick in on basically every preview that we do. We are recording this before SmackDown, so we don't know what's
If
going to happen on SmackDown.
if
So we
they add
don't know.
anything, it's not our fault.
No, I'm not even talking. Well, yes, obviously, if they add something, we're not going to know that either. But there's one match it affects because we don't know whether it's Julia or whether it's Lash Legend that's going to join Charlotte Flair, Chelsea Green, Jade Cargill, and Tiffany Stratton in a 5-way ladder match for, again, another thing that's a nothing thing that's pissing everybody off, the interim WWE Women's Championship.
Yeah. I hate
So first of
interim
all,
titles, and they always cause problems. If anyone's going to win here, I'd like it to be Chelsea, but I envision it to most likely be either Jade or it's Jade, Chelsea, Tiffany, either Lash or Julia, and who else?
Charlotte.
I don't think Charlotte would be interesting. She's probably the favorite out of everybody, I'm sure. I don't want Jade to win. I would want Chelsea to win, but I think Jade's going to win. So they set up, that type of face-to-face when they get back.
Because I am begging WWE to give me something out of left field, I'm kind of going to give you two predictions at once because this is going to tell you who I think wins on Friday and who wins on Sunday.
Yes.
I want it to be Julia
Oh, I would love that.
because here's the thing: A, she's awesome. Not like we have to be fair. Not everybody watches NXT. That's just a thing. So some of us know more than others how great Julia is.
And people
I would
haven't
love
all
it.
seen her work, obviously, before then, too, which she was even arguably better in than NXT. So, like,
Well,
she still has a
I
lot.
didn't see that either. So I was
That's
in
my
that boat as
point. So
well.
she has a real lot to live up to in my eyes, but she has even more to show you. So,
Yeah, fair. And it's one of those, like, I haven't seen all that, and even the little bit that I've seen makes me say give her more, right?
yes,
So
that's my
A,
point.
she hasn't been giving anything in a little while. She's had the whole thing with Kiana James where you partner people up to eventually break them up, which is fine. So give us the win on Friday, give us the win on Sunday, and here's all the people that you were so sure was going to win. Somebody you didn't think was going to win won. And what that does, this is why I think this is going to be the opening match.
Okay.
Set an unpredictable pace for night 2, put everybody on their heels so that for the rest of the show, they're like, oh, we all thought we knew everything that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Now they've just proven to us that that's not a thing. At least give us the illusion that the stuff that we think is, happening XYZ isn't going to happen. The ripple effect of putting the belt on Julia rather than a bunch of the other people that we think it's going to be
Yeah. The
is
presented
okay.
established
How
names.
yeah. But the ripple effect of having that happen in the very first match for the rest of the show, people are thinking, well, for the next one, I thought it was going to be so and so, but maybe I'm not so sure. Like,
Yeah.
trick yourself into a more unpredictable scenario.
Makes
Now,
sense to me.
like again, it's one of those go name by name and check out the dynamics type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Charlotte and Jade is a thing. And I think Charlotte and Jade are both big enough names that feud on its own doesn't need a title, let alone an interim title. Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green
Okay.
are like sort of kind of friends. Not
Yeah.
really, but maybe.
But kind of.
There's been the whole Chelsea like trying to be Tiffany's friend and whatever. So Charlotte and Jade eliminate each other. Chelsea and Tiffany do something to each other that maybe Chelsea was trying to help Tiffany because she wants to be her friend and ends up costing her. Parse them off. Now you've got Chelsea versus Tiffany for the US title. It's a 5-person ladder match. When everybody else is taken out, Julia's the only one left. And I'm not saying she should win it by default. I'm saying
No, but
she's the only one out of the 5 that doesn't have a current story with somebody else in the match.
yeah. And she's the only one that isn't tied up, like you said, elsewhere. So I love the idea of her winning. I think that would solidify her. And she's interim, so she can show off in matches in the meantime to build her namesake. It's
Exactly.
perfect.
And the other thing, and going back to my Smack, I keep saying on Friday. We are recording this on Friday. We're just doing it before SmackDown. It's
Yes.
nothing against Lash Legend. I think Lash Legend has come on leaps and bounds. Ironically, pairing her
Has
up
she
with
now?
Nia Jax, I think so. I think so.
Come
And
leap and bound.
that's not to say like she's the finished article. She's 10 stars in the Tokyo Dome, brother. But
No.
like
I
she
just don't
was a
know.
lot of
Trick wants to
character.
hear about her coming leaps.
Oh dear. No, but in NXT, she was accused, and I might be able to buy into it a little bit. Like she's a lot of character, and then oh shit, the bell ring, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And she slowly pulled herself out of that. And from the time that she debuted with Nia Jax, who's come in with the same kind of criticisms, let's be fair, Nia Jax's second run compared to her first in ring has been like night and day.
Yeah.
Again, not like absolute top of the charts, not I need them to main event WrestleMania next week,
Mm-hmm.
but like ridiculously better, right?
Yeah.
But again, Lash has a
Enough to
thing
make
that
a
she's doing.
difference. Yeah.
She's teaming with Jax on and off. She's being Nia Jax's hype person when she's not being in a tag team with her. Like she's still in an act. She's still doing something. So it does, once again, it comes back to what I was saying a second ago. It is a little bit of, okay, by default, who's not doing anything?
Yeah.
And I'm
Who's
not gonna
not busy?
lie,
Who's not in the story? Who's not preoccupied? Absolutely.
but also like take a look at take a look at the field as you see it right now, and then look at who's in the field in a couple of months.
Deductive reasoning. Yeah.
In a couple of months, when the interim title needs to be not so interim anymore, you can't tell me anybody's going to shoot down the idea of a major pay-per-view match between Julia and Rhea Ripley.
No, no doubt. Absolutely.
I'm just at this point, like a big part of this is I really like Rhea Ripley. I hope she's doing okay. I hope she's recovering okay. All those like human to human things. But I'm also looking forward to who do I want to see Rhea Ripley face when she comes.
Yeah, and
And there's a lot
who's
of
going to
them. We've
replace
seen
her in the
Jade.
interim?
We've seen Jade. We've seen Charlotte. We know her and Charlotte can kick each other's asses, and we know it's good, but we've also seen it.
Yeah.
Her and
Chelsea,
Tiffany
Julia would be good.
Chelsea, like who's not even a heel, like she's a heel in the sense that she does like the cowardly heel thing every now and then, but everybody loves her. So like Chelsea Green that everybody loves playing cowardly heel in a David versus Goliath match with Rhea Ripley would be amazing.
It would be a ton of fun.
Would be a ton of fun.
And not the overweight stripper. I'm talking like legit tons of fun.
We don't have Lizzo in here. It's fine.
We don't have the budget. No, Ozempic killed that dream.
Of the yeah, and then she got skinny and people got mad at her for getting skinny. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
She didn't get skinny. She got Ozempic. I don't have to put in the work.
This is the awkwardness that is me doing a shrug emoji on an audio platform. But I'm just like we talk, and as I just said, I went through all my reasoning.
Yes.
This person's doing this person's doing this. This makes sense because I think this makes sense because I think this makes sense. It does, as a wrestling fan, you can talk all that stuff to death, but then you have to put it on the shelf and say, what do I want to take a look at?
Yeah, now
and I'm sorry, Julia versus Rhea Ripley is something I want to take a look at. And Rhea Ripley,
I think it's good.
I don't think and here's the thing, I don't think Rhea Ripley comes back as a heel per se, but I definitely think her being on the shelf at home and seeing somebody else, even though it's interim, being crowned champion in her absence, you could definitely buy her coming and returning with a big chip on her shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And her coming in as a wrecking ball against a Julia would be amazing. Or you go the funny, like I say, the funny route of Chelsea Green, who's amazing in ladder matches because she'll go out there and kill herself. Chelsea Green running like a scalded dog from Rhea Ripley would also be kind of fun.
It would be.
I'm going with Julia.
To the arena.
And the funny thing about this is when this goes live, SmackDown will have happened. So people will be either laughing at me right now or not, or nodding along. I'm going with Julia on SmackDown. I'm going with Julia at the show as well.
All right. I'm going to go with Julia tonight. That just happened, and I'm going to stick with my prediction earlier. I think it's going to be Jade, even though I don't want it to be. I'd prefer it to be Chelsea or Julia.
Okay. The I meant to mention this earlier, right? Because we talked about like they did it in AEW, and they're kind of doing it here too, where you have like minor champions carrying their minor championship and looking towards the main titles at the same time. Would you be in favor of more companies doing what TNA did, something along the lines of Option C?
No, I think that'd be cool. Especially to get like an interesting.
Yeah, I want to try and take I've achieved this. I'm willing to set this aside to prove it to myself that I can take one step higher. Then you're not hijacking two belts. Then you're not hijacking possibly two different storylines, two different spots on the same pay-per-view, etc. I think
makes the world go round, and it makes everything very simple. It sounds chaotic, but it's not at all. It's very, very easy.
I mean, they're kind of doing a version of that on NXT right now, where it's like, hey, if you defend your singles title, we'll let you have a tag team title shot next week.
If you beat
Zarya, I don't know.
Then you get a shot at her title if she doesn't take yours.
Well, what did they do with Miles Bourne? They're like, okay, you
survive this, you get the tag title shot. Yeah,
fight Cam Hendricks for your North American Championship, and then you, because you were a champion and because you defended your title, we'll let you have another title shot. Don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. And a lot of it is going to depend on, because they've done two different versions of it back to back in NXT. A lot of my opinion of that is going to be based on whether they keep doing it and it becomes a constant thing. If it's just like something they did that was like story specific, cool. let that one story run its course, and we'll
But if this
see if
is a
it's good.
regular,
Yeah, we'll see if it's a regular thing, or see if it even fit the story to the end of its natural conclusion as well. But the option C that Austin Aries initially introduced in TNA, and then TNA as a company adopted that as, hey, this is just a thing that exists in our canon now.
yeah, which I
It would be worth
appreciate.
it.
It made sense.
Yeah, and I'm saying that for AEW, for WWE, for NXT, for AAA, for anybody. Like Ray Phoenix right now is the cruiserweight champion in AAA. If he went to Rey Mysterio, a lot of Rays, and said, "Look, I've achieved this. I'm happy to represent AAA as your cruiserweight champion, and I hope I've done a good job with it. I'd like to set it aside and see if I can take that one step further." Then Rey Mysterio says, "Hey, we
Yeah,
appreciate it, and
let's
we
do it.
establish a new tournament or a new whatever the case may be." But yeah, go and face Dom, and it kind of gets around the whole, oh, we're just handing out title shots. No, that person sacrificed something to get that title shot, because if Ray now goes and faces Dom and loses, now he doesn't have any belts. So if you'll pardon the pun, what it does is it forces your mid card characters to go all in on themselves to try and exist in the next level. And I think is a really cool thing. It's a thing that's existed for a long time in TNA, and I don't think they've mentioned it as much recently. But
Yeah.
it's something I do think a lot more companies should adopt and at least take a look at doing, like, their version of, like, WWE does War Games and AEW does their shite version of War Games. TNA has option C. I mean, WWE is the A company, so it would probably be option A, but be
Yep.
that as it may. But no, for somebody like Tiffany who's in this match, and it's like, oh well, why is she fighting for one title when she's got another? First of all, if you're achieving stuff, you want to achieve more stuff. Remember when Keith Lee was the North American champion, and he's like, let me go for the world title. I want 2 belts, and then he won, and he's like, well, it doesn't make sense for me to hold 2 belts. Here, have this. And
Yeah, take
it was
this
kind,
back. I
it was
don't
kind
want
of
it
shit.
anymore.
I kind of went blind after, Karrion Kross gave me a magical clipboard with fireworks.
Yeah.
And then everybody tried to pass it off as, oh, Karrion Kross thinks he's magic. No, he's a dickhead that put a trap in a clipboard. What are we
Yeah.
doing?
We don't have to go that far with it.
Speaking about, I don't know. Speaking about nothing. Speaking of changing the topic,
Yes, going that far.
another one for my case that I've been talking about all pod of night 2 has the much stronger mid card and has a mid card that could steal the show. Penta versus Chad Gable. Again, seems pretty obvious, but it's going to be a hell of a match, and the story
Yes.
is great.
It's a very good story. It goes complete full circle. He left because he couldn't beat Penta. He's back to defeat Penta for his first ever singles title. This is about as perfect as you can get for storytelling, a true foregone conclusion, but this also proves the rule that it's okay to be predictable at times, so long as it's compelling. That's what it is. I'm excited. Chad Gable wins. No doubt about it. In his hometown of Minnesota.
Yeah. And I mean, we still need to get Chad Gable versus Braun Breaker at some point, because I just think that's
Which
going
will
to be
happen. It's gonna happen.
it's gonna be like I know there's like a faction and a faction, but I hope we get just these two guys on their own, because it's gonna be like the most weird, intense, like jock energy match, if you
Oh
get what
yeah.
I mean.
Oh yeah.
Well, because they're both like collegiate athletes, right?
Who does
Well,
it better? Absolutely.
big
Egos
old
for
jarheads.
days.
Uh, here's the thing, right? And again, it's one one of those. I'm sort of looking at what's logical versus like what I want to see, and both of them are kind of in the same shit. Sorry, I'm gonna cough again.
No worries. Yeah, because they're both in that same area, and you really want to go ahead and see, like, oh, all right, which one's going to be dominant? Which one's going to go ahead and come out on top? And
Oh, it's not even that. Like, this is where I'm looking at much of the like the building blocks of wrestling, of
yeah,
Chad like getting sent on his downward spiral by being the opponent for Penta's debut. Then
I
he
guess
hated
what I'm going for, like
luchadors
the
and
simplistic nature of it, is
yeah, yeah.
you can boil it down to something so simple of good versus evil. Like, this is the good guy, this is the bad guy, but there really is no bad guy. It's just
Hmm.
who you want to
Well, and
cheer. Like,
this is
that's
the
what's
thing about
cool about
wrestling,
it.
right? Like you because it's fictional sport instead of actual sport, you have to go in there believing that the one guy doesn't like the other guy. Whereas any other sport, it's just like, let's just I'm going to face
Yeah.
you. I hope I
No
win.
bad blood.
You're going to face me, and you hope you win. But like, hey, like maybe a little bit of trash talk and that's it. But like because it's wrestling and there's a story, there has to be a good guy and a bad guy.
Yep.
I don't think there has to. Like, there's a whole lot of muddy dynamics all over this pay-per-view, to be honest. But I think the story of Penta, the match with Penta being the thing that sent him down the road to like being a dickhead and hating luchadors and going down to AAA and then getting humbled by another guy that had basically done the same thing and coming back to the initial guy with mutual respect. And it's like, okay, we don't hate each other anymore. You want to just go have a fucking match?
Yeah.
Like, let's do that. But the other side
Let's
of the coin
just
is
do
as
it.
well, and this is where I'm looking at like building block stuff. And you and I have talked about this before in the AAA conversations. We know that the Lucha Brothers are reuniting for the first time, not for the first time in AAA, but for the first time that you can say under a WWE banner.
Yes.
They'll be reuniting as a tag team at Triple Mania, which is, I'm pretty sure they'll be on the Mexico night, not the Las Vegas night, but who knows? And if they're
Yeah.
doing
You never
that,
know for sure.
I have to believe, and I'm projecting outward at this point, I have to believe that their whole thing is going to be they're going to face the Viking Raiders for those tag titles.
Yes.
And if that's the case, I think it means that Penta is dropping the IC title and Ray is dropping the Cruiserweight title before we get to Triple Mania.
Before we get there.
So that those two titles can have their own respective stories, because at that particular show, these guys coming together will be the story. Them possibly becoming champions will be the story, which means the Cruiserweight title doesn't get represented properly and the Intercontinental Championship doesn't get represented properly. So
Yeah.
if this is our shortcut to get to that, and it gives Penta longer to like reintegrate with AAA because Ray's already been there, everything kind of falls into place, and it's a really cool thing for Chad Gable. And I want ridiculously good things for Chad Gable because the guy's fucking insane, and they dressed him up like a ruler not that long ago. Like, it is what it is, right?
It
WWE
is.
ain't perfect.
Shorty G.
The A company, the undisputed the worldwide leader in sports entertainment, is not perfect. Close.
No, but
They're winning, but they're not perfect.
No, far from it.
So, does anybody think Penta's retaining?
No, not a shot in hell. Sadly. I don't think anybody's giving him a chance.
Okay, here's the interesting one. The equal and opposite to CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. Here's the match that actually has all the story and all the build and all the reason to happen. And Jake, I don't know what they're doing here. Not as far as the match, but I don't know what to expect here.
Okay.
Because they have to have something up their sleeve that is why this is the night 2 main event and Cody and night 1. I'm thoroughly convinced that if this is just a match that has a winner and a loser, even if the winner is Seth, which would be kind of big for Seth, let's be real for a second. If that's all it is, it would be night 1. The fact that Cody Punk is night 1 and this is night 2, something's happening in this match.
So I don't think anything special is happening because, really quickly, I'm telling you, nothing in my eyes, nothing special is happening. It's only night 2 because it's Roman. Roman's winning because the whole story is Roman can't beat Seth. He's never done it, even though he has. That's the story they've been cascading in front of our eyes. And then what do they do on Thursday or Wednesday? They release Roman's post SummerSlam schedule to push tickets.
Oh no.
And they said, you know, what he's doing post SummerSlam and all the plans that they have. So it feels again like another, hey, Roman's winning. We're letting you know Roman's winning, so you're not afraid to buy tickets because he's going to be around. Yeah. I mean, they announced him all the way for several dates in August, September, and then, of course, leading up until Money in the Bank.
So if they're doing that and there's no interference and there's no surprise and there's no swerve and Roman just retains and it's Roman wins LOL.
Roman wins with the shield chair to the back of Seth to go full circle. And
here's the thing. I like both guys and I don't mind either person winning the match. But if it's just that simple, that's going to be flat as fuck.
That's what it's gonna be. I wanna bet my right nut on it, Spaz. I know I'm not just being,
Yeah.
like, condescending for the sake of it. When I first heard that it was going to be these 2 this long ago, right after Mania, I said, "Well, their plans for SummerSlam are Cody and Punk, and they want Roman and Seth," and I didn't care for it, and then they said they wanted Seth to win King of the Ring, and then they didn't do it, and I
Mm.
was like, "Well, maybe they're gonna go with Seth," and they still had Seth and Roman, and it's like, "Oh my god." And all the promos, all the dumb shit, everything we've gotten has been, "You betrayed me. You betrayed me 12 years ago. How could you?" And I've never recovered since. You gave me PTSD. You gave me
But see, that's the part that doesn't. Okay, I
it doesn't
am
bother me.
one
It's
of the.
just not new. It's done. They've done it to death.
But it's the part that doesn't work. And I'll try to explain what I mean, because I'm the guy nitpicking the thing that I like when I think I'm the only one left on the planet that still likes it. I like the bloodline and all the bloodline lore, and I like the shield and all the shield lore. And the fact that they're kind of blending the two together now as one consistent story, I think on one level is a storytelling accomplishment. 100%. The part of it that doesn't work is the shield split. Roman never got over it, but Roman has reached infinitely like the tippy top of every echelon in the company, and Rollins hasn't. So to try and, even in his own words, say he's the one that never got over it, he's still got to get over that hump and whatever. What did you not get? What did not getting over that cost you? Because it didn't cost you anything. You were like
Yeah.
the guy.
You're doing to, yeah.
So that part of it doesn't work. So
Well, that's what
Roman
I'm
Reigns
saying. There's
win.
it's a mental thing. It's a mental PTSD. He's never been able
Yeah.
to trust anybody. He's never actually been able to be the good guy because he's delusionally filled with power because he feels like there's a vacuum in play where he's always being usurped or attacked or taken from, and that
No, I
all
get that.
stems
I
to
get
the
that.
betrayal. So I no, I'm just
And
saying like that's what. But they've done this so many times. They did it with Cody. They did it with Seth before with the Shield gear on. Like they've done it all.
I think it's hysterical every time they show Shield footage, and it's like, oh, I bet they're not going to show Moxley, and then it's like Moxley's right there. Well, they
Yeah,
didn't say his name. Well, he's not in the match.
but they
What the
they
fuck do you
have
want?
addressed him like it's not
Now, of course they have,
the
and they've
redheaded
addressed him,
stepchild
and they've
entirely.
addressed him as Mox, like
Ridiculous.
in big interviews and whatever. Like even
All
now,
they
they're
do
like, oh
is
yeah,
move
well,
the goalposts, but they didn't do
of
this,
course,
but they didn't do that. That's why I finally got Cody to understand. I'm like, here you are, you're arguing with the live stands, and every time you say something, well, it doesn't matter. She didn't defend the belt. You know, she did this, and it's like, yeah, but that doesn't. But I said they're always going to find a way to excuse it in their minds. You have to realize
yeah,
that it's a
well,
parasocial
and
nature.
again. And again, I'm sorry, and like I know I'm not even American, so like me talking on this is probably like less than useless. But when they have nothing else, oh, her boyfriend voted for the guy we don't
Yep.
like that is your official. I've thrown in the towel. I don't actually have an argument.
Yeah.
That's your Sophie Cunningham sat in the front row of a fight where one of the fighters was a guy we don't like. They were in the same building, guilt by association.
Yeah. You signed
We
off
don't
on
like
them, huh?
we don't like Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar might have known about something somebody else might have done, but we're not sure because that person is now doing everything behind closed doors
Hey,
suddenly.
we've all asked for a few piss videos every now and again.
What's a suitcase if not for shitting in?
Exactly.
Anyways, you're going Roman like 100%, like no doubt in your
110%
mind.
Roman. Yeah.
Nice.
Couldn't sway me
Okay.
on this one.
I It'll be weird because if this is the case, that means like both nights' main events are going to be just straight up retentions. And I mean, not giving the belt back to Cody has a whole different set of mentalities behind it. I'm going to go with the 1-2 punch of Punk retains and Seth
Okay.
wins.
Wow.
Because the two guys, here's the thing, and this is a wild comparison for me to make, right? The last two people to get John Cena comparisons, this is like the Cena wins LOL comparisons, have been Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Is that fair?
Yeah. No, that's fair.
So to give both, like, and I'm not trying to use like Cena's name as like a death knell or anything like that. I hope people out there realize that. But to give both anti-Cena wins LOL results, CM Punk wins, Seth Rollins wins, because what does it do? You go to Crown Jewel. When you fight for the Crown Jewel Championship, it'll be Champion Punk versus Champion Rollins, which we've done, but now they'll both have more artillery, because one can say, I beat Roman Reigns. Nobody beats Roman Reigns. One can say, I beat Cody Rhodes. Nobody beats Cody Rhodes. And then it'll be Gunther saying, well, I actually defeated the Beast. You only thought you defeated the Beast, Oba. So then you get Rollins, Punk, Oba, and Gunther in a fatal four-way match for some reason. And Javon Evans is on the outside holding the towel.
Holding it tight.
It's very tired in here. I don't know. There's a couple things on this card, or on these two cards, I should say, for me that are going to like hinge on what the result is. But overall, I'm really looking forward to this card because it feels big.
Yeah, overall, I mean,
to me, the whole card feels big, and within the card, the individual parts that are supposed to feel big feel big.
It could have been better, sure, but you're like, well, how? Well, I mean, it's a lot of not so much the matches, but the booking, but still.
Well, Kenny Omega didn't show up to bitch slap Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I'm not gonna lie, that would be kind of funny. Kenny Omega shows up at the wrong arena and eats an F5, and everybody just like cries into their special sock. That was really gross, and that was not a good way for me to end this. Jake, tell them where to find you. That'll be a better way to end this.
You can find us over on youtube.com/Jake DeMarco, where our latest release, Eclipse, is now live on all streaming sites where you can find music playing. Will be featured, Jake DeMarco Eclipse. The YouTube hit over 90,000 subscribers thanks to the music and that YouTube push, which is incredible. So 580,000 views this month alone. So thank you to everybody who's made that a reality. And come watch SummerSlam with us in the Discord while we check out the Wrestling for Life guys doing their watch along. And then we'll be there for the review, youtube.com/Jake DeMarco. So thank you all so much.
Well, I've got almost 2,000 subscribers, so we're basically
the same.
All right, two things. Guys, definitely come and check out the pay-per-view day hangouts both tomorrow and Sunday, but I won't be there Saturday, so please keep an eye on the chat for me, like Jake will, like I'm sure a bunch of other people will, but I will be in the chat myself on Sunday, so let's have a chat about what happened on the first night and chat along as the second night is going on. And please, like I've already said, I hate putting this out here so repetitively, but if you were following me on X, or if you want to follow me on X now, the new X handle is @SpazPhoenixPod. I'd love to get those numbers up so that it can actually be effective, and so that I can go back to saying, if you're here, you know where to find me. I've been Spaz. This has been Jake. This has been a very, very long SummerSlam 2026 preview. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, me and Super Sexy Jake are tagging out.
Yeah!